I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, guys, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and you know the spiel. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on X. But most importantly, every single Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central Time, you can catch us on the Genesis TV network. You can get it on Roku, the Fire Stick. You can go right to Genesis and download the site to whatever, your phone, your computer. It's absolutely free. Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central Time, every single Thursday. Look, guys, tonight's the night, man. This is one, and I've said this a lot lately. This is one that I've been waiting on and wanting for a long time. I don't even know where to start about this man. Look, y'all, I don't think there's any shadow of a doubt that this man right here, my guest tonight, has wrestled the who's who. And when I say the who's who, I mean the absolute biggest stars. He's been on some of the biggest shows. And he has constantly done this for the past 30 years, guys. Look, here it is. You know what tonight is? My guest tonight is, by God, greater than great. And he is the true king of Memphis in the Mid-South, Derrick King. Derrick.
What an interest. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Dude, I'm glad to have you here, man. Like I said, man, this is one I've been wanting for a long time, man. I'll be honest with you, Derrick. I don't even know where to start with this one almost, because here's the thing, dude. Man, you've wrestled everybody. You've not stopped for 30 straight years since you started. It's almost a question of, instead of asking you who all you've wrestled, who hadn't you wrestled, Derrick? Let's just, before we go back and start at the beginning, is there anybody out here today that you have never been in the ring with that you would love to be in the ring with, man?
Of course, some of the guys wouldn't that know me was obviously probably say Shawn Michaels, I'm sure. But
right.
But those kind of guys, like, you know, I've gotten to wrestle pretty much everybody. There's nothing of there's not many people I hadn't got to step in the ring with. But it's you know, some of the guys, like, I don't know if I can go like I used to go if I had the chance to do that. But like the Rey Mysterios or the Miz's and stuff like that, and you know, obviously the WWE stars. But there's a lot of local guys that, you know, I probably would have wish I was in my prime to, you know, to kind of still do what I used to do. With some of the guys that are out there now. I mean, if I went on the name is free, I'll be in trouble. But I just would pick it there. I can imagine that. But I just wanted to, you know, there's a lot of young talent that is well worth it. Probably, you know, that's worth getting in the ring with. I just don't. It's just how the cards are played. But I've had 30 years of doing what, you know, kind of what I wanted to do and enjoy the business. So I can't complain.
Well, look, man, here's the deal, dude. Man, like you said, 30 years. And I've kind of known you since you broke in the business, man. So, look, let's just go back before we really get into this, because I've got some pictures I'm going to bring up for you. You and other wrestlers and different people, man, and you can kind of tell us what was going on, who they are, if people don't know, if I don't know. But look, man, let's just go all the way back at the beginning, like we always start every podcast. And once we get this open, it's a free for all, dude. We're gonna carry wherever the conversation carries us. We're gonna go. How did Derrick King? What made you want to be a wrestler, and then how did you actually get in the business? And what year, dude?
Well, so I've watched wrestling my whole life. A group of Memphis, so it's kind of hard not to like pro wrestling in Memphis. So I've always like said I want to do this one day, but I always thought I'd probably be like an announcer or more of a someone who talked, not really wrestled. And so I worked at Piggly Wiggly. My mom made me get a job at 16, which was 15, 16 years old. She said, "Got to get a job," and because all my friends were working, so we worked at Piggly Wiggly. And Tony Myers, which was Spanish Fly, came into the story. And obviously, I watched wrestling every Saturday morning, so I knew every job guy or enhancement talent there was on TV. And
Right.
I was like, "I know who you are," blah, 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 blah. He was like, "Yeah, well, I have a school in Dixie, Arkansas." I was like, "What?" Didn't know where Dixie, Arkansas was. Didn't even register in my mind that 2.5 hours away from my home. But he said, "Yeah, I have a school." And so we went out, and I had to beg my mom. She said, "You have to pay for it yourself." So this is when my credit card world came in. I was like, "I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure this out." But in I guess 94, because I was 15 going on 16, and kind of a buddy of mine from high school, Jason Hodges, he got in there with me. And we drove. Jason was a smart man. He quit. he got the real job first. And I just continued to wrestle. I was hooked from day one. I remember just in that cold, like that cold locker room where it's in Dixie Dance Hall, back there where they had the ring. It was so cold, and I was like, "What the heck are we doing back here?" I said, "My mom would kill me if she found out where I'm at right now." But and trust me, by being a mama's boy, I had to, like be home and all that kind of stuff. But 16, and like I said, I was obsessed with wrestling. I mean, I grew up watching wrestling every Saturday morning. It was probably at the Coliseum 200 days. I mean, 200 times out of the year. It's like, I'm sure,
Wow.
like I say that it's only 52 weeks, but I'm just saying I was probably there, like walking to the Coliseum. My dad lived by the Coliseum, so I was probably there more than I thought I was at my own house. So that's where I wanted to be at all the time. Every Monday night, it was hard to not have me there.
Right. You said you was trained by Tony Myers, Spanish Fly, and 100 other names on Memphis TV.
Right.
And look, for the record, back then when you broke in and when I broke in, it was Job Boys. There wasn't no such thing as enhancement talent.
We're politically correct now. We got to say enhancement guys now.
But man, Tony has went on, man. For people who don't know, he's Chainsaw Tony in Japan.
Yeah, just like leather. He's kind of like Leatherface gimmick over there. Yes.
Right. He's a big deal over there, man. He goes all over the world now. I seen recently he was in Africa.
And he's a hardcore wrestler. He likes that, he's not afraid to mix it up and get a little juice and and do some crazy. I'm like, maybe not me. Maybe not for me.
Well, look, Derrick, let me ask you something. So you grew up loving wrestling like the rest of us, watching it. You knew everybody. When you first showed up at Dixie, was it a culture shock? Is it what you expected, or did you second think, like, I don't know about this now?
Well, when I got in there, I wrestled the Regulators with my first tag match. David and his partner, I can't think of his partner's name right now. It really escapes my mind, but Big Red, him and his partner, and he kicked me. I got kicked so hard, and I thought to myself, no, I don't need to be doing this. I don't need to. And like those first bumps, because these rings were not like a Memphis ring or WWE ring or or WCW ring. These rings were like the shits. These like they're barely put together. And I remember thinking, I can remember how that first bump took, like, oh, why am I doing this? But you just felt like you were. I always felt like I was having an out of body experience because I was never just comfortable. I was like, okay, I need to be out of the way, do what I'm told, shut my mouth, but I'm still a little nervous about these are grown men I'm in the ring with. These are not kids. And so I'm looking at myself going, okay, I'm watching Don Bass walk around going, that's Don Bass. Like you want to say it, but you can't say it, And then you realize I was also in a part of the where it was a really carny outlaw wrestling. It was there's no glitz and glamour. There's no I mean, this is a family, mom and pop kind of deal. It's kind of the lowest you can get when you start. It's like, man, I am, but to me, my school actually chartered a bus to come up there and watch me wrestle.
Oh,
And
wow, dude. I never knew that. That is freaking awesome.
It's crazy because they know all my buddies were there, but it was a different, it was, I guess I was destined for it, but then again, it was also one of those kind of hard things like, wow, here I am. But I was very humble then. Most people say I'm not now, but I was very humble then because I was so afraid of, I didn't want to get hurt. I remember having braces on my teeth, getting my teeth kicked in like my mom just said, we were just taking them off. Because I would come home with busted mouths every week. She was like, this is enough, but I was having the time of my life also, getting to travel and, and be a semi-wrestler, I guess. Didn't have wrestling boots, had makeshift tights, it's all, everything you go through when you start, is what I went through. So I get some of the young guys like, man, but then, they came in high gear, we had to start buying stuff. But it was, for that time, it was where I was supposed to be at. And I enjoyed it for a lot of reasons, but because it taught me how this really works. But now I think sometimes we get things a little plush, everything's a little bit, manufactured for everybody. But I can't knock that either because that's what the world is. I mean, my son has every technology thing in the world. He's not worried about anything. I'm like, son, remember I had to change the channel to watch TV,
Right.
and turn the knob. He's like, I'm not touching that, just how it is.
If your mom wanted the channel changed, you were the remote.
Yeah, I was the remote a lot of times.
Hey, good thing about that though, back then we didn't have 600 channels we had to flip through, dude.
No, and still not watch anything.
Dude, man, I'm the same way. I got anything on TV I want to watch and never hardly watch anything, man. It's too many choices. It's too much, dude.
I find myself just putting on something, and then I find myself on TikTok all night. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So
I'm a YouTube guy, man. I'll go to watching whatever, and I watch everything on YouTube. It could be wrestling or it could be something else, man. And I'm the same way. I pay for all this TV, and I watch 90% of it on YouTube.
You're right. And I told my son, I said, I'm not buying TV again. I said, this is TV, and we're not even watching it. And like, I have 2 TVs on right now, and they're both on the news channel, and I hadn't heard a word of it or seen a thing of it, just on.
Dude, we're the same way. My kids both sleep with their TVs on. I sleep with a TV on, so we got 3 TVs pretty much running all the time, except during the day. It is what it is, man. And look, you talking about these rings and stuff, man. Look, them old carny days, you have to admit, dude, hey, it's the best way to come in the business. Honestly, if you want to learn the wrestling business, is it not, Derrick?
It is the best because you can take a bump anywhere. Then the bumps don't the bumps don't matter. When I say don't matter, that means like you feel safe because I've been in Don Bass's workout ring in Jericho, which is like the ground, and I've been in Osceola's ring, and let me just tell you, that Osceola ring is no joke. And look, I've taken a few choke slams and clotheslines from you in a day or two in that damn ring, and I thought to myself, good God, and then, and used to, which nobody probably believes this, but I used to take big backdrops and these rings. I'm like, my body, but at the time, none of that mattered to me because I was loving wrestling. But now, rings, I don't take it. There's one other hard ring, and that's Neil Taylor's ring down in Boonville. That ring is, you might as well bump outside on the concrete. I mean, literally on the pavement somewhere. I said, dude, I'm not coming back to work for you until you get a new ring because it hurts. But but you're right. That kind of helps you get through those days where you're like, some bumps don't matter, don't hurt as much. And I've taken, like I said, probably every bump there is, but in Osceola's ring for sure, I've suplexes off the top and all that kind of stuff. But your body gets callous to it, and that's kind of what you want it to do because if you wait too long, you're always going to be used to a nice soft ring, and then that's how you get hurt. You're not used to it. You don't tuck your chin. You don't do everything that's right. It's just one of those kind of things that you need to. It's got to be hard sometimes. It's not ballet, as they would say. You shouldn't do that. It ain't ballet.
And your body's got to get callous to it too. You got to take those bumps. you know, people think it's easy, but it's not. You just get used to it. Your body gets used to it over time, man. And talking about that Don Bass ring, I had Rodney Grimes on last night. Me and him were talking about that, dude. The first time when we finished training, they sent us to Don Bass, me and Sam. So we met Don Bass at the truck stop in West Memphis, had a meal. So then he takes us over to his place in Jericho. You go in that building and you're expecting a ring, and you get there and it's 4 posts in the ground with some ropes and a carpet about 6 inches thick, but it's on concrete.
It's on concrete.
Dude, he got us body slamming each other, and there ain't no give. So if you're bouncing, that's your body bouncing.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. The only give is your body. Because I remember taking hip tosses and like biceps and course. And I'm like, but when we got to the show, like we went to Coldwater, he brought his working ring. What's the softest ring I've ever been in my entire life? I thought, why do we not have this ring all the time? Why are we not working out in this thing? But then I get why you work out in the hard ring first, and then you go into have the the luxury. But I will say this: WWE's rings was not always a soft ring either.
Dude,
I've worked out in that 20 by 20 they've had back in the day, and that thing's like a brick. So
when Golden first got the developmental deal and they sent rings down here, you figured in your head that, well, these gonna be nice professional rings, and they're hard as a damn rock, dude.
Right. Same thing. I went to Terry Golden's, and I remember I took a hip toss. I was like, "What are we doing in this ring?" I immediately jumped from that ring and went to that WCW ring they had. I go, I'll work out in this one. And I think one of my favorite rings is the WCW ring. It's shorter. It makes I'm not the tallest guy in the world. It makes you look taller. The cable ropes, and it's a lot softer than the WWE ring. That WWE ring was hard, but obviously WWE, since Vince McMahon started taking bumps, the ring got a lot softer. The ring got a lot softer.
Well, look, Derrick, let's address Austin Mooley Talio. If I get that right, I'm never gonna say this dude's name right. Every time I say it, I butcher it, Derrick. But he's got it for you, dude, man. He wants your attention, man. Give him a little time here. He says, man.
I just realized that was him writing down here at the bottom of this, but
look, he's done wrote a bunch, man.
He's a hell of a talent. Good looking kid. I'm sure everybody's waiting on me to say that. Good looking kid. He just one of those kind of things that if we had him 20 years ago, and I just got a message from Simon Cook over here. I'm sorry. This is out of control already. This is already getting out of control. But if Austin had been with us a long time ago, when in a younger day, things would have been a little different for I think career's hard now for young guys because there's so many of you guys. There's so the business is so big now. Everybody's in it. Right. Everybody's in business. Used to you just couldn't get in it, but he's a hell of a talent. I have to give him the devil's due. I always think he's a heel, but I think he wants to be a babyface sometimes. But a babyface don't wear a fur coat. It makes me hot. So that's why he should be a heel.
Dude, I see a lot of Gino Hernandez in this dude, man.
Yes.
I mean, he resembles Gino, but his attitude, man. I've seen him do some things, the man that just jumped out at me. I'm like, man, this dude could be the second coming of Gino, man. And I'm like you. I think I like him better as a heel, man.
Right, and you and I think another thing is you and I like the heels more than we probably would like babyface. And I most of my career I was a heel, and I enjoy being a heel, but I also understand nostalgic after a while you just become the local babyface because you've been there forever. It's kind of hard. It's every time he's. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. They're drinking games going on about what I'm saying on here. This is insane. Golly, I should not be on this right now. But what I'm saying is those guys need, one of those kind of deals where we just back in the day he would have been a big baby face for sure, but today he's definitely a heel. He's definitely a heel in my book.
Right. Look, Cook's here, and he says, speaking of Rodney, ask DK about the pink hot dog attack. So, Derrick, I got to know, what's the pink hot dog attack, man?
So, we wrestled in, I'm so dumb. We wrestled in not Crenshaw, it was, what's the town? I can't even think of the name of the town. One part of Mississippi, I'm sure he'll say something about that. Corinth, Mississippi. So, Derrick King is, obviously at this time, Channel 5, Mr. Personality's the guy at the moment. So we get to the show. Dustin and Simon are gonna wrestle me, and I don't even know who my partner was. I couldn't even tell you that. Maybe Adam Still, but I don't think so. So to get over with me, these guys were gonna fuck with me in the match, and of course they never tell me this because I'm the one that in the secretly they're probably looking up to, going, I hope we don't piss him off or whatever. Have a good time or whatever. So they get a hot dog while I'm in the corner, and they put this hot dog all in my face and my hair. This is when I had blonde hair and all this kind of stuff. I was like, I couldn't even get mad. I was like, good one, very good one, good one. So this is their step of opening the door to, then we hang out and all that kind of stuff. I was like, it took some balls to mess with me in that element at the time, because normally I'd probably be like cussing, yelling, screaming. They probably would have been fired or something like that.
So you had to go the rest of the night smelling like a stinking hot dog, huh?
Right, it's exactly. So you're kind of pissed, but you're always thinking, well, that was a good one. I ain't thought about that one. So I think so. I'm sure there's a lot of more ribs that everybody, I'm sure wants to rib me about. I can imagine.
All right, T Ward Media's here with us. They said, speaking of PO, DK owes me a new car, speaker, and some attorney fees. So look, Dick, I told you this thing's gonna go wherever it goes today, dude. So what's up with this?
This is bad. So Terrence Ward was my manager. So we used to say he worked for the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. And so anybody who's been in the car with Derrick King's gonna have DK karaoke on the way to the show. And you cannot just turn the music just a little bit. It's got to be as loud as it goes. It's got to be loud. A, because I can't sing. And B, is because it just sounds better. But we busted speakers while we turned the music up way too loud. And so we had a briefcase that that he carried out to the ring. And Brian Christopher was determined to use this briefcase in this match. So guess who Terrence got hit with the briefcase. And he's like, I gotta get a new briefcase. I go, that's the best thing that happened on the show. You can't lose that. You can't lose that.
Best thing that happened on the show, plus Derrick blowed your speakers out doing karaoke in the car.
Right. That's a hell of a trip.
Well, man, look, dude, speaking of karaoke, man, you do a lot of karaoke, man. I got some footage of you singing a year or so ago at TIWF, man, but I've caught little snips of you in different places doing karaoke. What's the deal, man? Did you want to be a rock star or something, man?
It's so crazy. I think I'm just because it's the entertainer, I guess, sometimes in you, but Bradley Diggs, don't even bring that up. I don't even talk about he just wrote. But I just think that I just enjoy, we got to go sing karaoke a lot when I was, going out and hanging out. So I just I bought karaoke for my house. We had, American Idol at the house. So I just after the show, we would come to my house and sing. So it just became a big deal. It was an icebreaker too. So when you take your friends out, you're like, man, everybody can sing. And none of us really could sing, but once you get a couple drinks in, then everybody can sing. So it's okay. So I do love some karaoke. Even my son, he'll break out a song or two every now and then. So it's a family thing.
Dude, I only sing in car rides with my family or alone because I can't sing. And even by myself, I turn the music up loud so I can't hear it, man.
I don't want to hear myself. I definitely want to hear myself. I'm always like, turn that up. Turn that up. I've gone through microphones like crazy. I'm like, I think I bust several speakers of my own. So there you go.
Look, Derrick, since we got Bradley on here, get you a damn drawstring for your pants, man. I'm so sick of every time he does a move, he got to stop and pull him damn pants up, man. Get a drawstring.
I thought it was genetics for a second, but I guess it's just something that happens. I think I need to grab his wrist next time I see him and see maybe that'll keep his pants up. I don't know. See
maybe so, man. Who knows? I told him this over a year ago. I said, man, get a damn drawstring at TIWF one night. I said, man, get a damn drawstring. I said, hell, you could do a lot more in the ring if you didn't spend half the time pulling up your pants, man.
I'm with you 100% on that, but I would say he's very entertaining, but he's such a baby face. He's such a baby.
Yeah. Both of them, both the hustlers really are, dude. They're baby faces to me.
They often want to be heels, and I go, no, I think the baby face thing, because they for some strange reason they have a heart when it comes down, and when it comes down to it, they kind of have some compassion. But I every time I see them, I go, you're such a baby face. You're such a baby face.
Well, look, these guys here kind of broke in and started. They were actually trained in Osceola, which is, man, you've spent pretty much your whole career. I mean, you've wrestled everywhere. You went all over the place. You've been to Puerto Rico, but you always come back to Osceola. And what year did you actually first start working for Osceola when Moondog owned it? Because I remember when you came in, I just don't remember exactly the year.
I think it may have been 95, 96, maybe. The reason I say that is because it was not long after I was in business, because Tony Myers had already got me booked a lot of times, and then Blade and I started hanging out when we wrestled for David Milliken. So there was another, Don Bass had to hook up with Moondog and all that kind of stuff. So and then Moondog worked occasionally for David. So we kind of got, two young fresh baby faces to come over there. So I'm sure it's probably 95, mid 95, early 96, maybe. Because we were going a year strong, I know, in 96, trying to do everything, trying to be our job. Blade and I's thing was we wanted to be everywhere where there's wrestling. We would travel, we would go, we became like brothers in the car. It was like I saw him more than I saw my house, and he probably saw me more than he saw anybody else, because he left his home to come up here. So we were together. Him and Joey Jenkins we were together every weekend. And of course, I didn't have a job at the time, and Blade was just doing ins and outs things. But, excuse me, so we were on the road a lot during the week too. We were trying to get booked and so I tell everybody to go wrestle. We wrestled as much as we could. You name it, we were there. From West Virginia to Gibson, Tennessee, to Indiana, wherever, we were just going. And that's what I think when we stopped in Osceola. I always tell this Osceola story because this is where I learned respect, and I learned kind of you don't burn bridges. Blade and I no-showed Osceola one night to go to some other show. Of course, we didn't call and say anything. And we begged to be back on the show in Osceola because it was packed. I mean, when I tell you it's packed, there was, that's the old building, the one that front. Standing room only. And I'm like, man, we want to be on this show bad. And, of course, we hadn't talked to Larry, and we were like, oh, shit, what this is going to be like. And he goes, yeah, y'all can work. You're working me and somebody. I go, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And, back in, the hills, we had that camper. Every damn mosquito in the world in there. And citradella candles everywhere. But he beat the shit out of me in Blade. He put that stop sign over my back and hit me so hard with the chair with the stop sign on my back. I literally jumped up, stood up, looked at Blade and said, get your stuff, we're leaving. And we left in our tights, grabbed our bags, left, drove home. And I thought, I'm never going to see Moondog again. Never, ever. Coldwater, Mississippi, 2 months later, they tell us just sell on the floor and you'll know when to get up. We sell on the floor, and all of a sudden you hear this whistle blowing. I go, are you kidding me? I go, get up, Blade. We get up and get to the back. Of course, they have a big laugh about it. We were scared to death. And they, it just one of those kind of things. I thought to myself, well, don't burn the bridge. You got to kind of, this is why everybody gets mad at me. I say get mad at me, but everybody goes, you can't like everybody, but I try to get along with everybody. And I try to tell you how I feel while I'm doing it, because you never know who you're going to need or where you're going to be at again. You just kind of got to, stick with it. Because then Moondog took care of me forever after that into his passing. But he was always, always. Of course, he called me Buckwheat. I'm sure you can't say that now today, but he called me Buckwheat. And so we just laughed and, had a good time. I went to Hardy with him. I mean, it was, I earned his respect. I was with him those nights. He went to the big one. He took me and, got to meet everybody. So I respect and not burn that bridge is a smart thing. But also, Osceola is like when people go, why you go to Osceola? I've been there since day one. So it's kind of hard for me not to go back.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. Man, there's a lot of guys come through Osceola when especially when Dog was there and running it, they cut their teeth there. I learned a shit ton there working with Dog and for Dog and just watching how he handled everything from out in front of the fans to the things in the back. If something went on with fans, how he handled that. Dog don't get the credit I don't think he deserves for being the creative too,
being
man.
a promoter, being a booker, being a guy who can run a show, because he kept his gimmick and still was able to go back there and tell you what to do and what not to do. And I thought to myself, my only problem with the whole thing, Osceola, I didn't leave Osceola until 2:00 in the morning, getting paid the same $10 I got paid. I go, Jesus Christ, you don't have the $10 already? It's $10 at this moment. I mean, do I need to leave? But we never left. He never left. Now, I sometimes cuss the guys for leaving early and all that kind of stuff. You never know what's going to happen. They may need you for the main event. They may need you to do this. They may need you. You just never know. But, you hung around, but that's how camaraderie was. You became friends and you became knowing people. This is a networking business. You became okay, well, I can, well, then me and him hit it off this time. So maybe we can do a show tomorrow somewhere else or next week, and then we can get it together, I'm just, some things I think that we lose in the business today. And you're right about Moondog not getting his credit, because he was a hell of a talent. And for him to, he told me a story about him, how he had to make the Moondog gimmick work because it was his last leg and that was it. But he made Memphis, Memphis got the wrestler of the tag team feud of the year with him working Lawler and Jarrett, which was awesome. So, a lot of people took an ass with him, but it drew some money. And that's kind of what it is.
Well, a lot of people only know Moondog from the Moondog gimmick, man. When in actuality, he could get in the ring and go if he wanted to. He could get in there and wrestle, man. I've seen him get in there with some guys and do some wrestling that you didn't think Moondog would be able to do, man.
Right, and I've worked out in the ring with the man and got to see some of the wrestling, him grabbing holds and stuff like that with me. I was like, okay, because it's easy to swing a trash can, but then again, everybody don't know how to swing a trash can or a chair, so.
Right.
There's an art to that too.
I don't think people realize that there is an art. Swinging a chair, there is an art to it, man. When I first started, you just swung that chair, but as you have more experience with it, you learn how to swing it where it makes a lot of noise. There's an impact, but it don't really. It's not as painful as it looks.
Right, because I've had guys have their chair upside down, inside out. I go, don't hit me, but it is definitely it's definitely you got to learn how to do that. You just don't do it. I don't trust a lot of people to do it. To me, we've learned a lot of things with concussions and stuff. So there's not a lot of chairs to be swung at heads, but sometimes to shock the people or whatever, it wouldn't be bad if you trust them. It's like giving somebody a power driver. Everybody's not going to give me a power driver. Maybe, there's a handful of people that I would trust with that. But then again, I'm sure a handful of people don't trust a lot of people that, they'll let me do something, but don't let somebody else do it. So I get it. And vice versa. So there you go.
Right. And truthfully, we used to take headshots all the time in wrestling. It was a common thing. Nobody ever thought twice about it. You just took them. It was just part of it, man.
And then there was a debate. Do you put your hand up or don't put your hand up? And then there was a big debate about it. I was like, well, depending on who's swinging that chair.
Well, here's the thing. Moondog come in from the school where put your hands up. I broke in when it was kind of attack the mat. Like when you bumped hard every time. And then when you took shots with weapons, you took them. That's just how what we seen all the big boys doing. So you do exactly what you see, man. And dude, it surprised me. All of us ain't loony. I'll be honest with you, man.
Well, there's some days I think I'm a little fucked up. But I'm sure a lot of other people think that too. But I just there's a part of it, that's part of the business. I get that we're trying, we're taking care of it. Longevity is the key. But Ric Flair was wrestling at 70. Lawler, if he didn't have a stroke, he'd be wrestling. Bill O'Neill would be wrestling. Right. They got to wrestle a long time. I don't think that we're gonna look at ourselves like, we're approaching older ages. I'm like, I don't know how long I can be doing this. I may can be behind the scenes, kind of just like, yeah, somebody else needs to be doing this bumps now, because the younger guys are, their creative is so much different. Ray Sanders is jumping off the building. I'm like, son, sit down. But as long as you're not hitting me, we're good. We're good. You can do all that to somebody else. But it looks good. It's flashy, but I can't do it.
I hear you, Derrick. I'm the same way, man. Look, Titanic's back. He said, Derrick going off in Applebee's over $40 for one piece of steak and one piece of chicken prices. So go on, tell us the story, Derrick.
Well, this is sad. Like, once again, this is sad. So everybody knows I used to go to Applebee's every hours work. I used to live there, and we would freaking Applebee's a lot. Only because I used to drink there a lot. I used to imagine that, drink there a lot. So I was like, all right, well, let's get a decent meal, or now it's the shits, but get a decent meal. But it was not worth $40 to get, not even looking like it was worth to eat. But I can remember being in Applebee's a million times telling me people, take this back. Matter of fact, this is no lie. I was just there 2 months ago or so, and my steak was horrible. And I go, my son didn't even get to eat this food. I was like, no, this is Applebee's. This is like America's restaurant. It sucks now. It used to be our place of where I would hold court, if you will, in Rumpelstiltskin. For no reason, I had Rumpelstiltskin. So you owe me 5 shots now. Somebody just told me to buy me 5 shots for that. Rumpelstiltskin. There you go. That's twice. Well, at least people are watching this. This is good. Applebee's was a time and a half for me. I miss those. Now we don't, we try to go outdoors, but now it's my favorite place is Huey's. And I think everybody in Memphis knows that. But, now I really just go home. When the show's over, I'm like, can I get my black ass home? 'Cause I'm tired.
Right. Well, look, Bradley's back, and he says, think the Hustlers will beat Hot Topic, man. And I got some photos we're going to put up in a little bit. I got a photo of Hot Topic. We're going to talk about that. You think they could beat Hot Topic, Derrick?
Not in a day, because first of all, Hot Topic's always booking the show. Second of all,
say the pencil's gonna kick your ass before we even get in the ring.
And the pencil will kick your ass for that, because I said I would, angle wise we could do whatever. But as Simon would say, not today. they wouldn't beat me today. So I don't know. The Hustlers will beat me probably more than anybody else. So who never knows? You never know.
Well, look, we got
my God, this is
Team Grant Outdoors. He said Jamie J came through there until Derrick King tried to steal him. All right, Derrick, you poaching talent.
Listen, Jamie J at one time in his career, and Jamie J was a good look. I'm gonna say he's not good looking now. That sounds bad, but he was a baby face that in shade, young, hungry about the business. So I remember Jason Reed and I talking. Simon would probably say, "Golly," we were talking about Jason Reed the other day, but Jason Reed and I booking the show, and he's like, we had this big surprise all around, like who's going to come in, who's coming in. And it was going to be, there's going to be Jamie J. Oh, the heat I had to go through with Moondog and LaFonce. And, LaFonce was like, he can't go. And, I was like, are you serious? I said, we've built this whole thing around this kid to come in, and he's going to, obviously going to beat whatever heel was going to be. And then, and win the title or whatever the hell it was going to be. But, yeah, Jamie J was going to be the star pupil of Derrick King, and then Osceola won out. So, so there he is. But yeah, Jamie J, Bruno left. Look, Jamie J was going to have a job at WWE, and then went out and rides a motorcycle or some crap and breaks his leg. Ain't it? Yeah, like the dumbest thing ever. I remember going, why would you do this? This is when you don't do stuff like this. Just sit down.
Right. But, that goes back to something Jerry Lawler said about Kerry Von Erich. Kerry Von Erich had the motorcycle wreck and lost his foot. And I seen an interview, man. I mean, when I was a kid then when it happened. I read it in a wrestling magazine where Jerry Lawler was kind of all over him about going out and riding his motorcycle and doing stuff like that. And Lawler's reason was that, hey, you got responsibilities. There's a whole company depending on Kerry Von Erich and you being at these shows and being able to do this stuff. Don't go out and take unnecessary chances. Now, look, the young me, fuck Jerry Lawler. He's out of his mind. The old me knows exactly what he's talking about now.
But here's a crazy ironic thing. The young Jerry Lawler broke his leg playing tag football, and they had to rewrite all of Memphis for a whole year by him messing up a whole angle because Jerry goes, so you want to play football that bad?
Right.
But we were all young and dumb. But Lawler's right about Kerry Von Erich, but I'm sure the reason why he's right about that is because he had to live and learn from the mistake he made. And that's oh wait, what is this? Hold on. At least the girl was still on. Oh god, somebody's house burned up and I watched it. And they're good. Everybody's giving me hell tonight. Oh my god.
So hold on now. You said somebody's house burned up and I watched it. Like if this was a police interrogation and I was a cop, I'd be like, hold on now. That's a little suspicious there, Derrick. There's a grill that was still on. So did you burn somebody's house?
Well, no, I was at a friend of mine's house. I was at Dylan's dad's house. Since Dylan has to bring this up, I was at. Look, these stories are not good about Derrick. I was at their house and we'd grilled out and all that kind of stuff earlier that night. And then, of course, I'm probably getting up to take another shot for no reason. So I look back and see it's smoking on the back of his parents' backyard. I'm like, what the hell is that smoking? And I just thought that, they didn't put the fire out like on a fire pit or something like that. Went to bed. Didn't say nothing to nobody. Woke up the next morning, chaos is everywhere. The house is on fire. I'm like, what is going on? I go, oh, I saw that last night. I thought they were just putting out something like, you watched the house burn. I go, I didn't know it was burning. I did not know. But it was a hell of a time.
Not only did I watch it, but I went to sleep too because I didn't say nothing about it, man.
Exactly.
Damn, Derrick. Damn.
I'm sorry.
All right. Team Grand Outdoors says 4-wheeler and beer, right? I can see that happening, man. Fuck your whole career. Fuck your whole career up, Jamie J, over 4-wheeler and beer, man. Come on, dude.
You could have got us all a job by now. Jesus.
Right. Hey, look, was he the rookie of the year when you stole him already? Because I know he was like the rookie, the rookie, not rookie of the year, the rookie sensation for like 10 years or something.
Right. He was going to be pushed no matter what. It's like, yep, look at him. Look, he's in shape. He looks good. We'll put him out there.
On deck, Titanic's back said, what we drinking tonight, Derrick?
Well, I am just drinking a Red Fago drink. This had nothing to do with it, I promise you.
That clear liquid, man. That's that clear water looking liquid, man. But it gets your ass fucked up.
Look, now I know 12 people are going to be on here going, I thought you didn't drink during the weekdays. Well, I'm on the podcast.
Oh, hold on, Derrick. Dylan Murray's back. He said, I was talking about Applebee's with the Hustlers, but that's a good one too. Ha ha. So did you almost burn Applebee's down too?
No, Jesus. Oh my God. I'll plead the fifth because I probably was too fucked up. I don't remember. I didn't know that they can just chime in when they wanted to. I didn't know that this is a real deal. Like they can, oh God, this is tattoo.
Ask Derrick about In the Dark. So what's up with In the Dark, Derrick?
I can't.
The Motown Shotter.
I can't talk about any of this.
Oh, you on here now?
Tattoo. We better not say anything. We better not say anything about this. This is giving people in trouble. I don't know. Tattoo used to live in these apartments, and there's this very flamboyant gay guy, I guess. But we called him In the Dark because it was just so. Oh my God, it was over the top. And every day he'd come In the Dark. I was like, oh my God, close the door, don't let this guy in. But super cool guy. I'm sure that I can't believe you said this. I'm sure we had a long nights of just partying, and I'm thinking to myself, this is insane. Insane. My kid can't watch this, can he?
Dude, I guess that's up to you, man. It ain't made for kids, but I guess they can catch it.
Let them ban him from this whole damn podcast.
We got a couple more. There's Tattoo back. He just said LOL. Cook's back, and he said wrestling court with the Grand Master as the judge. So come on. You got to spit this out. They keep coming.
Jesus Christ. So, oh my God, I can't remember what to tell you the story. So Tony Gunn and I are good friends. And So we're in some part of Arkansas, Rector. I want to say Rector, Arkansas, or some town. We booked Brian, and he was there. And there's a photo of me and Tony just laying there. Of course, I can't believe he's done this. Anyway, Tony's career's over now. Will Gibson took the picture, so Will Gibson couldn't wait to get the picture out and get, stir the pot with it. And so Brian, we had this big long court section, like we were at the half court. So Tony and I had to go to court over a questionable picture, but that wasn't really that questionable. So it was a lot of poking fun at Derrick King and his and his friends, I guess. Well, I sleep with Simon every time. So there you go, Simon. There you go. I see every time I spend night at Simon's house, we share a bed. So there you go.
All right, John McCall, the mayor, says, "What's up to you and Derrick?" What's up, John?
What's going on, John? What's going on, man?
Watching this man, I appreciate it. Tattoos back. He says, "What about the lemonade beer in Ripley?" Derrick, dude, I think we're gonna have to go on and just extend this to like 4 hours because I'm loving these stories. This is better than what I had planned.
Oh my God!
Tell us about the lemonade beer.
I don't know if I remember a lemonade beer because I probably was too messed up to remember that. I don't know. I'm gonna let Tattoo tell that because I don't know what we what might have happened that night. I don't know.
All right, John McCall's back. He says, "When you go to dinner with King Cobra, you have to bring Derrick to keep the convo going, man."
Because Cobra's not saying shit. Cobra's more like this. Yeah, and I'm a little talkative, so it took a little minute to keep the conversation going. Because Cobra's like, "Well, why would you do this?" And then you gotta have somebody to buffer. Like you're the host of a show, so like when it gets quiet, you gotta go. Well, you gotta give something going. Cobra just gonna take straight to the point and then wait for the reaction after the fact.
Dude, ain't nothing worse than a guest who you can't pry words out of, man. You've been trying to lead them along and press them. And look, I had Terry Wayne on probably almost a year ago, man. And if it wasn't been for Addison Kane being on with us, Addison did all the talking. Terry Wayne, man, I'm talking to him, and he just grunt and stuff. And he wouldn't say nothing.
I tell you this in Osceola, Terry Wayne never grabs a microphone. I go, let Addison talk. He's very quiet, but Cobra's very quiet too. So Cobra's old school, straight to the point.
Right. Thomas Bowles, he said, "This isn't the real Derrick King. The real Derrick King doesn't talk wrestling Monday through Thursday."
Well, but this is a special occasion because I normally do not talk wrestling. Kevin Lawler called me last night. There's a couple other wrestlers called me last night. I was like, man, not today. I can't have a wrestling conversation. Not today. I cannot. If I don't get 3 bottles, for not today. But I can't. Sometimes I got to take myself out of the element of wrestling because it has consumed my life for so long. I've never had a break from it. And my son would tell me, he goes, "Yeah, I guess you got a show." And I go, "Yeah." And he's like, and I get it, but I try to not have it every day at home. And like when I get home, I turn the TV on, kick my shoes off. I don't even want to. I sometimes not watch the show, like watch wrestling. And then Dustin Starr call and go, "You watch the show?" Then he gets mad because I tell him no. I do not watch the show. And just because I've had enough of I've seen it enough, and I get it, and I get everybody wants you to kind of chime in on what it is, but 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown.
It's too much.
I've never even watched AEW, so I don't know how many hours they got. But it's wrestling all the time. Then I listen to a wrestling podcast on the way to work every day, so I'm like, okay, there's days I can't have wrestling.
Dude, it consumes. People don't realize that, man. When you get in this business, look, I was out of the business. I was gone for about 10 years or so. And, man, still, the whole time I was gone, my mind, it steady consumed my mind, man. Didn't have nothing to do with wrestling whatsoever. Talked to very few people in the business, but I still constantly thought about it every day. It's
the worst drug ever. It is the worst drug ever. It's the worst drug ever because you can't get past it. I've tried to. Oh, wait a minute.
There it goes. Hold on. Let me read this out now. John Motown Shot is back. He said, "John Michaels pee in the cup right at the entrance." So is that the pink lemonade or What
Pea
was it when he
lemonade.
go?
So
The lemonade beer, is that, are these two connected?
this what happened. So in Ripley, we had, and only John Michael does this kind of crap. Just like peas in the cup, like the cup that I'm drinking beer out of. And he'll just pee in the cup and just put it back on the thing, like, where I've been picking the cup up the whole night. So John Michael also is getting handcuffed in the ring. Like, we're gonna do a spot where we handcuff him to the rope, and he's, until we somebody make it out there. So I'm watching it all get handcuffed, and I drink. I go, what the fuck is that? Fucking pissed. John Michael pees in the cup. I was so fucking mad. I wouldn't unhandcuff him. I wouldn't let them unhandcuff him. I go, let him stay there. And I remember he come back. I go, how dare you? How dare you do this? And he's like, there's go outside or go to the bathroom. But yeah, that was a long night. I promise you, that was not happening.
Okay, so the moral of this story is somehow you took a drink of John Michael's pee. Is that what we're hearing, Derrick?
That is exactly what happened. I don't know how to put that.
Dude, that's why I don't put an open drink nowhere where there's especially around fucking wrestlers, man.
Right. I learned a lesson. Here's another thing that happened also. We were, Randy Hales and I were somewhere, and he drank his dip. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, did I turn sideways?
Somehow, Derrick, you did.
I don't know what just happened there.
I don't either, dude. There you go.
There we go.
Look, while you getting that right, John McCall's back, and he said, Cobra didn't say anything at dinner, but talked up a storm on the podcast. Thanks to Derrick, I proved myself. Thank goodness for DK.
Well, I appreciate that. As I'm trying to fix my phone here, I'm just trying to make sure I get everything right.
The Motown shotter come back laughing. He said, that's it, LOL. You went out on me, Derrick. Log back in. Joseph Earl Dawson's good to see you back with us, man. We're waiting on Derrick to click back in. He clicked out on us. When he gets back in, you can talk to him, man. He can tell you what's going on with him. All right, guys, this show here has went a direction. I didn't plan on it, but I'm loving it. It's better than what I had planned. We get Derrick back on here. We'll finish this thing up, and we might hear some more stories about Derrick. Who knows, man? We just don't really know. There he is. Let's get him back up here.
Sorry about that.
No, dude, like we talked beforehand, technology, man. We're too old for this bullshit anyway.
Right.
Look, Joseph Earl Dawson, he said, what's going on, Derrick King?
Hey, man, still trying to do the wrestling. Oh, Lord.
Alan Steele, man. I've actually got Alan coming on the podcast this Sunday night, man. It's another one. I'm going to say it again. It's another one I've been wanting for a while. I got it Saturday night. Is Ray Sanders your son, Derrick? That's the question, man.
First of all, I have no black children. No, I'm kidding. Ray's like a brother, but he looks kind of, hey, he could be my son. Who knows? I don't know how drunk I was. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
Are we going to have to turn this into Maury and us do a little DNA, man, and find out for real if Ray's your son?
It's funny you said DNA. Alan still gets me hot about this real fast. DNA, Alan still wanted to do a tag team group with me and him called DNA. Derrick and Alan, like, wrestling's in our DNA. And to this day, he never lets me down. He never lets me up on this because I didn't want to be a tag team wrestler. He says, we could have done everything. So he gets so hot. So I get a lot of cussing from Alan Steele about not doing a DNA tag team, which would probably be really good.
I kind of like it, especially when you add the names to it, man. It makes sense to me, man. See, it could have worked, Derrick, but no, you won't be a single star. You don't want to share the spotlight, man.
Yeah, I was out there glory hogging it for no reason.
Look, Tattoo's back, and he said, talking about John Michaels, I guess he said he left him out there until the next match, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd have left his ass out there the whole night until tomorrow morning. I'd have told him, say, we'll come back and get you in the morning, man.
He probably should still be there. He probably should still be sitting there. I was mad as hell. That was not fun. There are plenty of Ripley stories. I can't talk about them.
He said, when you come, this Bradley said, when you coming back to MCW, Buster? Dude, I don't know. I ain't done no shows. Me and Derrick was talking about it. I probably ain't been to but one show since September. I need to get back out and go into some shows. With the first of the year, Christmas, the holidays, and all that, man, I just ain't got there yet, but I'm headed that way sometime, Bradley, and I better see a damn drawstring in your drawers, man.
Right.
Look, man, on deck with Titanic's back, and he said, good thing this will replay on a Thursday night at 10 p.m. That's why I'm on Thursday nights at 10 or anytime 10 p.m. or later, because I'm not going to not cuss. I'm not, man. That's part of who I am and part of what I do. And if I can't cuss, then I don't even want to do it, man. It's just simple as that.
And I did ask you that beforehand because I have listened to some podcasts and I'm thinking to myself, the Ric Flair.
All right, go on, tell us. I know there's a story behind this. So the Ric Flair hit you hard, Sophia. So come on.
So I can't even answer half these questions. So there's a medical marijuana card, and obviously I got one. And so I had the Ric Flair drip, and I also had the Mike Tyson pound for pound cake. I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
I've been waiting to get it somewhere, man. I go to the dispensary in Haytime, man, and I've been waiting for it to show up, and it ain't showed up yet. How is it for real, dude?
The Mike Tyson is the I went to sleep in probably 10 minutes and was out. And I was like, and I know somebody's going to text on here about some gummies. I don't even want to get into that night. But literally, boom, I was out. And like my phone had rang 20,000 times. I've missed so many messages. I was like, dude, Mike Tyson knocked me out for real. He knocked me out for real. It's not a joke. It was Mike Tyson. Sorry, go ahead.
Mike Tyson won, Derrick 0, huh?
Right. And it's sad when I'm asking my kid the next day, what happened? He goes, you were slumped. I said, I'm done.
Well, let me ask you this, Derrick. Are you an everyday smoker?
No, because I really don't know. I don't know how to roll anything. I have to buy pre-rolls, so I don't know how to roll anything. But I'm not an everyday smoker. I'm not an everyday drinker because it's just my work is killing me and my body needs to be in, I'm a moment or whatever. But I kind of just like being normal for 2 seconds, like, okay, and then just take good night's sleep and all that kind of stuff. But everyday smoker, no, because I'm always paranoid. I'm always trying to think, and I can't think that, it gets my mind to wandering, and I can't do it all the time. That's because I don't.
Dude, I'm an everyday smoker. I ain't even gonna lie. I've smoked pretty much every day since I was 13 years old, man. And it astounds me now that I can actually go in a store and buy the shit, man. I'm used to being in the alleys or somewhere hand to hand.
Right. Calling somebody, hey, meet me around here, blah, blah. I definitely get it. I've gone to dispensaries, which is a great thing, but also like it don't take much. I can 2 hits and I'm probably like, okay, I'm good. Right. And because I just it's not, obviously on a Saturday night, Friday night, hanging out with the boys or whatever, it's kind of different because you're kind of partying. But no, man, the minute you sit me in the car, Derrick King's out. So anybody who knows been in a car with me or I've been in a car with them, it don't take long. It don't take long at all.
But look, Joseph Earl Dawson's back. He said, I remember you from TAJJ Wrestling when you invaded TAJJ and that Dunn Arena. So talk to us, Derrick.
So
that's old school, right?
That is very old school because we had just did Power Pro that morning live, and then we went to TAJJ. Me, Flex, Tim, and Brian Bump, and Mike Murphy. We all went, did this big invasion thing just to give the kids something, they wanted to. Adam Dunn is obviously like a friend of Lawler's and, the family somewhere down the road. And, and he's always been dabbled in wrestling. So we just kind of did that. And we just did, it was fun for us because we could do what we wanted to do and they allowed it. And then we also had fun with them. So that was good.
Right. Tattoos back. He said DNA matches on MEW Wrestling YouTube page. There you go. If you want to see DNA, go check out the MEW Wrestling YouTube page.
And we came out to Tina Turner's good God, Tina Turner, Simply the Best. So you often know that it's a long song, but it's good. It's good.
Dude, you love long songs, man. I swear to God, you're the only person I ever seen that, damn, let 90% of your song play before you come out, and then have them restart it and let the rest of it play, man.
Well, you know, I'm really probably getting dressed.
Go on, that's old school. You building up that anticipation. Go on, right. Tell the truth,
I didn't realize that at one time it got over, now it gets heat. So
hey, I don't know if it gets heat with the fans, but it gets heat with all the boys, dude. Look,
do people not see I'm doing it live? Why are they calling me?
People do it all the time, man.
Now I can't hear anything. Hold on. I'm mad about everything right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect, man.
Hold on 1 second.
All right, guys, we're going to see if we can get Derrick back on here. Y'all quit calling this, man. We on live, man. You got comments, comment on here. All right, John McCall, you said tell a Brian Christopher story, DK. You know I can't help myself. Look, we've actually got some photos we're going to start bringing up here in a little bit. And there's a picture of Derrick and Brian, and I'll have him. We'll tell that story when we bring up the photo, Mayor McCall.
I can't hear you.
Can you not hear me?
I'm gonna leave and come right back. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's cool, Derrick. All right, y'all, let him get back in. Yeah, we're gonna pull up some pictures here in a few minutes, and there's definitely some pictures of Brian and Derrick, and we'll get him to tell some Brian Christopher stories when we see him. Cook's back. He said, Joe, somebody will help you roll it. Yeah, man. Now you don't even have to roll. You can go buy cones, man. Basically, you just pack it in there, dude. It's been so long since I roll. I'm a pipe guy anyway. I used to smoke nothing but joints or blunts, but man, the older I get, man, I've got this little Grab Lab pipes about 4 inches long, and hell, that's all I smoke out of now. Saves you a hell of a lot of weed, I can tell you that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know how people calling. They obviously see every Facebook post I post.
Speaking of fate, look, hold on. Let me go here. Mayor McCall wants you to tell a Brian Christopher story, but I've got some pictures of you and Brian Christopher. Let's save that until we start pulling up these photos. Cook came back and said, Joe, somebody will help you roll it, Derrick.
I know who Joe somebody is.
Bradley Diggs, DNA versus the LA Hustlers. Let me ask you this straight up, Derrick. Can you and any partner, can the Hustlers beat you and any partner?
I don't think they can. Maybe can beat me by myself, but not with any partner, because my partners probably won't put them over. So it's just me putting them over. I don't know. Alan Steele's not probably gonna do anything. He probably won't do anything right now. He don't want to wrestle at all. I'll let him tell his story, but I think that he's like the hell with wrestling. He's a smart one.
Look, Tattoo's back. He said, no, he's really getting dressed when his music starts playing. Man, look, dude, and you know me. You've been around me enough, Derrick. I'm dressed. If I'm at the show 3 hours early, 15 minutes after I get there, I'm ready. We can start the show right then, man.
I don't even know where my bag is, where white tape is, where the baby oil's at. I don't have a clue where anything's at until it's like, is it playing now?
Well, I heard on Facebook today, man, everybody's talking about you and tape, man. They say, man, you go and get everybody's tape. So Derrick never has tape, dude.
This is no lie. I don't think I've bought tape. It's going to kill my gimmick. I don't think I've bought tape in probably 10 years.
Hey, that's the wrestler in you, man. Wrestlers take anything we can get for free. We're going to take it, man. It's just simple as that.
You're right. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Look, Joseph Earl Dawson's back. He says, here's my other memory of Derrick King. Hold on. He got upset when Chris Rocker returned. Corey Macklin's Memphis Wrestling when he lost, the loser leave town. You know, I just seen this clip on Facebook or something the other day, man. I just seen you and Rocker. This exact thing he's talking about, I just seen.
Was he Captain America or was he just Chris Rocker?
I think he was just Chris Rocker, if I'm remembering right.
Because then I was gone for a minute and came back under a mask or something like that. There's no telling whether that. Here's another thing about Chris Rocker. Just a real quick story about Chris Rocker. He was the first angle I ever had in wrestling. So I remember we had booked a show at my high school, and we're just working, and he goes, slam me. But I went to slam him, and he military pressed himself.
Right.
And I was like, what? Like, just slammed me down. I was like, look at me slamming somebody like a military. But one of my favorite people to wrestle, because it was always easy. Hands a little sweaty.
Dude. All right, look, man. I'm glad you said that. I'm not the only motherfucker to notice that. Look, way back when in KAW or Memphis Championship Wrestling, we're all coming in and everybody's shaking hands. We're busting each other's ball. Rocker still got his hand, go shake. I said, "No, man, you got them sweaty palms, dude."
I said he wipes his hand off before he shakes my hand. I go, "Come on now." These sweatiest hands in the biz. I go, "No, can't trust a guy with sweaty palms." I don't know what the fuck that means.
There you go, man. Look, Joseph Earl Dawson's back. He says, especially he, talking about you along with Johnny Dotson, was the greatest Memphis Wrestling Junior Cruiserweight champions at the time too.
Johnny Dotson can't knock it. We had good matches together. It was fun to work. It was easy. I think they got to a point where they had to. They thought that we have wrestled each other enough. That's probably the reason why they. It's like Lawler and Dundee sometimes. You might as well tag him. But never a problem wrestling Johnny Dotson. Just different. I'm not even going to get into this, but different. I'm sure this is what some people have been waiting on. But just different world, different folks. Just kind of what it is. I've been very very lucky and very blessed in the way about how wrestling works for me and how it does. I don't see any bad thing about it at all. Some people see otherwise. Other than that, that's probably the only Johnny Dotson bit you're going to get him from Derrick King. But other than that, always good to wrestle him. I wrestled him a million times. I wrestled him his last match. I'm sure he probably wanted me to wrestle him his 15th last match. But talent-wise, I have nothing to say about him. Business-wise, that's a whole different story.
Well, it ain't your style anyway, Derrick. I knew that from the get-go. I wasn't even going to bring it up. Now, I do have some pictures with that got you and Johnny in it.
Oh, absolutely. I can't discount what we've gone through. I just I think that, I'm too old to be giving a shit about stuff that don't matter.
Right. It's hard, dude. Everybody's got an opinion now, and they got the platform to put it out there to the world, man.
Sometimes I wish the platform wasn't there, but I get why it's here. So I choose not to, and I've been going live for 2 days now. I've been telling people I'm going live for 2 days.
All right, look, man, your live. I checked it this morning. I was scrolling through, and it come up 624 views at that time, dude. For just mainly your ceiling, wherever you was, the ceiling in the top of your head, dude. Hey, I think you need to start your own fucking podcast or something, dude. Is that right?
I realize that people are waiting to hear what somebody's got to say. But I think that because I never do it, this is the reason we talked about podcasts earlier. I never do them. I never really get involved in it because it's a lot. But I just, sometimes you enjoy poking fun and just having a good time. But I just, I was at work actually, and I was like, I'm going to go live right now. And just sat there and just see how many people click on it, which is fun, but also, and I had people call me and go, man, why didn't you say nothing? I have nothing to say.
Oh, you had us, dude. I can't lie. When I seen it, I was sitting there waiting for 10 fucking minutes for you not to do nothing, man, to then hit the fucking button and, you right as I'm going to talk, man, here's what I got to say. Boom, we're gone, man. I'm like, this fucker here, man.
I entertain myself for 10 minutes.
you entertained about 600 people for 10 minutes.
Well, I do appreciate it because it's just one of those kind of things. Like I know what the hearsay is about everything. I hear everything, but I just sometimes you have to let them know life ain't that serious. I mean, we are here for a short time. Enjoy it. Shit. What else we gonna do?
You know as well as I do, man. There ain't no news that happens in the wrestling business without it. And even before internet, that shit would get around within a day. That shit be all over the country, man.
Bro, I remember hearing stuff the night it happened and 2 weeks after it happened. I go, well, damn. And because wrestlers are kind of like gossipers. You're like, we can't wait to get it out. Whenever I hear somebody goes, kayfabe this, which means 10 other people already know. 10 other people already know.
Look, everybody else already knows. I just don't want you to say nothing.
Alan still always laughs and go, now kayfabe. Which means you told who?
Well, let me ask you this, Derrick. Kayfabe. Does it even fucking exist anymore at all, dude, truthfully?
No, because they don't want it to. They don't want it to. There's a part of the segment that want them that people know everything. I used to buy magic tricks all the time. I have a thing of magic tricks in my closet there. And I had to ask the magician. He was like, man, nobody buys magic anymore because you can just go online right now and just see how to do every trick there is.
Right.
I said, then what's the illusion about? Nothing. Nobody cares. Everybody wants to see behind the scenes. Well, that's really not what it's cracked up to be. It's almost like when people want to come to a dress room. We're getting dressed. There's nothing else back there. It's no big party or no big, who's who. We're all coming out of that same dressing room. It don't matter. I get it that it's a nostalgic thing. I say nostalgic. It's a, look what I learned. But everybody already knows. So I just, go ahead.
No, the cat's just out of the bag, and it's been out for a long time now, man. To me, I'm like you. I find it funny when anybody says kayfabe this because kayfabe what? Everybody knows everything, single thing. And to me personally, I think it hurts wrestling because when you take away, look, it ain't like people ain't always known it was a work. Like the outcome was predetermined. But when you show them how the soup's made, then they think they can make their own soup, which brings me to a thing. Look, I had this guy 2 nights ago. He sent me a message. He wanted to know how he could get in the wrestling business. He didn't have no money to pay to be trained. He couldn't travel very far. And I kind of explained to him, I said, look, you're going to need to find you a reputable school or trainer somewhere. And he come back and he said, well, is there not no apprenticeship or internship maybe to be a booker? And I'm like, I wrote him back and I said, look, man, I think you got the wrong idea about this. I said, if you want to be a booker, you might as well just start your own company because you got to have experience to be a booker. You need to start from the bottom and be a wrestler and experience the wrestling business.
Here's what happens. Everybody buys a ring. Everybody runs their own promotion. Everybody's a champion of their own promotion.
Right.
Everybody only books their, like how they want it to be. It's almost like playing fantasy football with people who are not really football players. You're ruining what you want to watch on television because you think you know how it works and you have no idea how it works. And that's why I look at guys that go, oh yeah, there's 400 wrestling companies probably in Memphis at this moment.
Dude.
And I talked to a few people about it, like, how many more shows do we need? Everybody can't work everywhere. And not to mention, everybody's not good. Point blank, everybody's not good. And it's not about knocking everybody. When you got to learn, look, I don't know how to play football. I don't know how to play basketball. I'm not good at that. I am good at this phony ass wrestling. So I can do this. So everybody doesn't deserve to do this. I remember thinking to myself how lucky I was to be in the business. Now looking like, well, who ain't in the business? I mean, everybody's in the business now.
And like you said, there's so many companies and so much. Look, there's a lot of bad companies that really shouldn't even be in business and a lot of bad talent that shouldn't even be in the ring. And that's the one thing you didn't have to. even in the late 90s, you didn't have to worry about that because there was not a company ever 5 miles up the road. Look, a year or so ago, I did some tag team rankings, and I was doing Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas, about a 200-mile radius around our area. Man, I got to counting promotions, and I stopped at like 36, man, and most of those were right there in and around Memphis, Tennessee at that time. A lot of those have gone out of business since then.
Well, because here's the other thing is everybody look at, and I know how people are going to take this, but people start companies because they're mad. Companies because look, I've seen everybody who gets another company because they couldn't work for the other company. This happened in Dyersburg. This happened in Ripley. This happened in this happens in Arkansas. This happens everywhere. Listen, you only can use so many guys. You're only going to get to the point where, oh yeah, Derrick. And speaking of Johnny Dawson, he wrestled blessed here now. You wrestled with SSR Memphis. This is true. I had to read that, yeah, but I get it. It ain't what it was. Right. It ain't never going to be what it used to be. You look good. Simon's an idiot.
Mahoney. So go on, man. Tell us what Mahoney means, man. We're getting all this inside shit, dude.
So we like Police Academy. And Sweet Chuck is always on there. And Zed, you look good. And we really just have a moment about just dumb shit we do. I really wish everybody knew I just want to laugh and have a good time because life is, and people who are very close to me know that I'm afraid of death for sure, but I just want to enjoy it while I can because I think I've had a great wrestling career. I got to meet all my friends are wrestlers. I never lose sight of that. I'm a lucky guy. I mean, I've been through a lot of real hard time stuff in real life, but wrestling's the only thing that keeps me going, hey, or my friends. And I'd rather hang out with my friends than I'd rather be doing probably look at this. Alan Steele. Alan Steele, Simon Cook, one of these guys, it's so weird because I can, we can get on the phone and not worry about wrestling. We don't even have to talk about wrestling. Right. Obviously, wrestling comes up. This is PK Ripper over here. I ain't seen him in forever.
What's up, guys?
It's just one of those kind of things that I've been lucky to have a lot of cool ass friends, and we all do some badass wrestling sometimes. But I don't. I guess to the point of everything, what I'm saying is just we just have I'm just trying to have a good time, and some of the stuff ain't worth it. But also want to say this is a business that I love for sure, and have done everything to make it good. So when people come here and don't know what they're doing, don't do it in front of me. I mean, it's almost like if somebody came, trying to do what you do good, and they're fucking it up left and right. It sucks, man. There's times I go, these people have never even watched wrestling. I mean, they just think they can just get in the ring and let's do the biggest spot we know. Who's going to catch you when I don't want to be there?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When I wrestled you back in the day, there's nothing extravagant we're calling. This is what we're doing. Moondog called the finish. That's what we went to.
Let me ask you something about Dog. Is he the only person in the history that can have a finish at the end of the night that has 35 people involved, staggered out? And look, almost every single week, dude. I don't see how any of that shit played out and worked as well as it did, man.
And every heel got powdered. Every baby face got jumped. Everybody, yeah, I remember us powdering every heel. Then I remember us doing the fire extinguisher in the building where we couldn't even breathe.
Dude, I just told that story. Run us all completely out of the freaking
I was
building.
like, what the fuck is going on? But it, because the thing is, controlled chaos is always, the people like that. Because they feel like a lot of stuff is happening when really it's the same and we're all just laying down.
Right.
And he told a simple story. He's a moondog. He can fight, but when you get him down, blah, blah, we had Beth out there. You had Lady Vixen. You had a lot of hungry people that want to wrestle too.
Right.
Everybody wanted to do something. Now everybody wants to do it for themselves.
Jet Hero, he says, your hero is finally watching, man.
Good Lord. The live has finally happened.
Here's what I need to do, Derrick. I need to get you, Jet Hero, Johnny Dotson. I'm sure there's a couple of more all on the same show, and just see what the fuck happens, man. It'll be a podcast battle royal till the end, dude.
I can only imagine Johnny and I would probably be quiet most of the time because Johnny would be as loud as he could be in my ear.
Hey, that dude can talk though, man. That mug can talk his ass off, and he loves to hear himself talk too.
Hey, look, I tell him, I said that's exactly right. Hence the reason why his Facebook is only for him. Nobody. This is unbelievable. Because I will say this in jest. I don't read Facebook a lot. I don't get on it. I'm looking for like politics and bullshit stuff to look at food and stuff like that. I've seen some of his Facebook posts. I'm like, dude, when do you work? When do you go to work? I don't understand. This is just taking too much time. I don't want to post a lot. Look, I called you before. I text you before. I go, can I post it? How do I post it? We're coming. Then I went to your page. So I go, I'll just share it. I'll just share it because I don't have to do nothing else. But yeah. But he's not the only one. There's a lot of guys that love look tattoos. Like getting nervous now because I'm probably gonna say look because tattoos. He loves to get on there.
Yeah, he's an outspoken guy about the wrestling business. When I get some of his stuff.
Exactly, that 15 minutes of fame on Facebook drives me nuts. I'm like, they had a 15-minute match. Now we're having a 15 minutes of cussing about somebody. But Tattoo, he knows I love him. He's we used to be a ride or die until he told me he wiped his hands. He said, well, he's wiped his hands at me. But I forget what he said. He was done with me. I'm sure he's listening, but he was done with me. I said, okay, whatever. So then 2 weeks later, he called me, and then you know how that worked. Got to kiss the makeup now.
Like you said at the start, man, you're gonna on the way up and down, you're gonna meet the same people both ways, man. And you
might as well enjoy it while you can.
Hey, you know me, man. When I was young, I ain't above getting heat back in the day for real heat with the boys or in the back with the promoters.
Like, man, we can't fucking talk to him, man. He don't want to talk to nobody.
Man, but it just is what it is. Look, it took me a while to relax. I'll be honest with you. It probably took me about 6 years to really start opening up and just relaxing, you know.
Well, I'm to my nature, who I am now, I'm just a friend person. I'm just want to be having fun. And then, you know, because I got in trouble for, I'm about to, Dylan, you don't get fired. I'm just to the point where I thought wrestling was going to be a good, you know, just everybody's going to like everybody. And then when I found out, David Milliken told me, everybody's not your friend. He told me, goes, be careful out of this. And I'm going to go see David in a couple of weeks. But it's just like one of those kind of things I learned a lot from, like, I'm growing up. But I was a kid. This is what I think most people forget. I was a kid.
Right.
And growing up with grown men telling me to shut the fuck up. Or I'm going to, you know, and they didn't mince any words. They didn't, you know, I was scared to death to wrestle them because I thought, I'm a living legend. I was nervous because I was going to get beat up. But I was lucky that, you know, I was like I said, they took care of me. Wrestling probably, if I wasn't a wrestler, I'd be a nerd somewhere doing some computer work, I promise you. And I'm glad I'm not doing that.
I didn't quite realize you were as young as you were when you broke in. I thought you was probably 18. I started training in 17, but at the same time, I was also 6'1" and 350 pounds. Right. At the time. I looked like a grown man. When other grown men see me, they didn't know I wasn't a grown man. And I didn't realize that you started that young, man.
Danny B was the first person I really went on like a big road trip with. And he, first time I ever seen the hooker in my entire life. First time ever in my, I was like, what? And she's like, could you sign my boob? And I was like, dude, are we signing boobs? Is this what we do?
That's what we do, man.
And I couldn't even get into the clubs. Like I had to sit in the car. So when the young guys tell me I left them in the car, I go, dude, I sat in the car many nights. Until like closing time, they go, you can come in now. I'm like, well, I didn't drink or anything at the time, so it didn't matter. But I was still thinking, I've been in this car 3 hours, 3 hours waiting on these adults to get out of here. So I was a kid, and my mom made sure I had to be brought home. They had to see me. They had to meet my mom before I got to leave with anybody. Joey Jenkins had to see my mom every time before I left the house.
How the hell did you manage getting home at a respectable time when you're wrestling, dude? Like you said, it never happens, man. How the fuck did you get home?
Because we had to tell her. Johnny Morton, Ripley Prim, had to get me home, and he had to like, Miss Taylor, blah blah blah. This is why this show does this. Explain to her why her son is coming home late. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I'm just trying to get to my room and lay down. I'm like, yeah, I had a night of wrestling, but they could be. Of course, there was a lot of me begging to go. She was like, "No, you're not going." I go, "I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go." And just like my son does me, I just let him go. I just let him go.
Dude, I got two teenage kids, and they don't listen to a damn thing I say half the time, man.
I think my kid cusses me when he goes to bed, and he's like,
well, they look. I'm sure they cuss me in their head, man. I still boot them in the ass. They want to go to cussing me out in public, man. But in general,
right? I think my kid wants to fight me sometimes. Wait a minute, what's this pure kick ass or DK? What are you doing at 29th?
That's Leon. That's Jet Hero and PK Ripper's thing. The PK.
Don't try to book me on the spot right now.
hey! Everybody can't book Derrick King now. Everybody just can't book Derrick King. It's sad, y'all.
Oh Jesus! I'm sure when I get off this call, they'll be like, "So what are you doing?" What's going on?
Well, look, Derrick. You want to start going through some of these pictures?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes. And a half in.
Yes, please, man. I didn't know I could talk this long, but yes, absolutely.
Dude, I've enjoyed this, man. I've loved this. A lot of interaction. Before we get started, there's Leon back. Said, don't act like I hadn't inboxed you.
Kayfabe.
In Bluff City, there's the dude. He said, I am here. He heard us, man. Whether he was listening or not, he heard us. He heard his name. What's up, man? Pure Kick-Ass Wrestling's back. Said, you want to get a drink? Obviously. And Team Grand Outdoors says, are you booked anywhere on March 2nd, LOL?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, ain't that the re-debut of the rookie sensation, Jamie J? Ain't that on March 2nd?
That is where I'll be at. But let me go ahead and plug Osceola because that's
Yeah, do that.
Let me plug Osceola every Friday night. Anyway, Friday night Osceola. Tonight, this Friday, I think I'm wrestling Connor, but the LA Hustlers are going to be there. Tim Grind's going to be there. And so it's going to be a big night. It's going to be really, really good. I think Osceola is trying his best to do what they have to do. Those guys are working hard. The claps are doing what they have. I get it. There's always going to be a stigma around how Osceola was ran and what it was, whatever it may be. But I have to give it to them. They're working, not just because I'm there or whatever, or half my friends are there, but they're making a place for home. Like, because you kind of, Osceola is kind of one of those kind of things. It's always going to be there. It's never going anywhere. And I will plug Memphis Wrestling because I will be. I think I made my debut back Sunday, so you'll see that in a couple weeks. But Memphis Wrestling, they have a show this week in Mississippi, Strayhorn or something like that. I want to say this is something like that.
I think it's Strayhorn.
Strayhorn. So they got things coming up and always doing something crazy. So check into that. I never promote shows because everybody goes, well, you didn't promote mine. But those are the two places I know I'll be at for sure. And in March 2nd, I will be with Jamie J. Not old, but Jamie J now.
I'm with you, Derrick. Man, MCW, they made a lot of improvements on that place, from just the colors, the painting the building, fixing it up, the entrance ramp, TikTok and all this other stuff they're doing, man. They really, man.
I went in there. This has been months ago. They got banners of all the guys on the walls, and they're trying. They want a big fight feel to it. I think some of it comes to talent sometimes. True. Right. I also think you got to crawl before you walk. You can't ask for it all to just happen overnight. And OCO is one of those kind of fickle towns too, where you know, they know everything, they've seen everything. So as a guy who helps around, I try not to say anything that's going to happen or lead into it. I just let them just show up
Right.
because I know you tell one wrestler, tells another person, they tell another person. So I just try to keep it as a surprise as much as I can because you want it to be different. So
And here's the
OCO's,
thing.
sorry.
Well, here's the thing about Osceola. There's a lot of people that's got a lot of things to say about Osceola, but damn near everybody around here for the past 25 or more years has came through there, and a lot of us really that's where we got to cut our teeth and learn our
Right.
craft.
The longest running independent show around here for sure.
Look, we got the Bluff City back, which obviously it says the King Superstar Johnny Dotson is here. I love you guys. Derrick King, you are absolutely right. There you go. Johnny's turning over a new leaf now. He's turning over a new leaf.
Well,
Look,
kumbaya. I don't know what to say.
y'all will be drunk somewhere tonight. I can see it now. You and the King Superstar be all over Facebook together, man.
Lord have mercy. We're working towards that. That's what we're trying to get to. I wish cooler hits would prevail.
Hey, Buster Unmasked, bringing people together, man, for a year now. That's what I do, dude.
I love it, dude, because to me, like I told you, life is short. I really don't give a shit. I just know that, man. I only got a short time here, and I'm trying to have the best time I can, and that's what we do.
Look, Joseph Earl come back and he said, "That Bluff City Wrestling, hello there, King Superstar Johnny Dotson. How are you?" Johnny's back, said, "Let me apologize to you publicly. We are family." There you go. I think I'm gonna have to send both of y'all a check, or not a check. I'm gonna have to send y'all a bill for handling this, man. I'm kind of like we in the psychiatrist office, and I'm bringing y'all together, man. Y'all parting your differences, dude.
Wow, we are really right now. Listen, I get it. Hey man, you know how this is. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm not to make this conversation about that, but you know how it is. And by the way, nobody can spell King. It's supposed to be King, King, not Kang. Anyway, but I get it. I just think there's a healing process about everything.
All right, look, Leon Kellam's back, which is Jet Hero, said, "I'm gonna make new shirts." Says, "Why book a King?" Just to book a King. And look, these two guys now, I might get you and Johnny together, but I don't know if there's any hope for these two guys getting together anymore, man. Joseph Bluff City's back, and he said, "I am good, Joseph." And Joseph's back, and he said, "At Bluff City, that's good, King Superstar." Look, Derrick, we're gonna get into some of these pictures, man.
Yeah, let's get out of control here.
They're not in any order. I'm just gonna go from the top first one I pull up to the last one, dude.
I can't wait to see them. I'm nervous.
Dude, there's so many of you, man. I had to kind of pick and choose. We're just gonna start with the one at the top, man. Tell me about this, Derrick. Hey, tell everybody. I mean, obviously everybody knows you and Dustin, but tell everybody who the other man is.
Stan Lee is my tag team partner, part of Hot Topic, also part of Salt and Pepper in Puerto Rico. This was an award show in Ripley. Man, good times. I just this was my crew. These are my go-tos, and we just had a good time. And I just can't even, man, that's the crazy picture because I hadn't seen that picture in a minute, but I do know the picture. Before everything goes to disaster, hold on 1 second, because my said 20%. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
All right, y'all. We got to wait for Derrick to get his charge. That's what we do here at Buster Unmasked. We bring people together. Some people, anyway. I guess I'll have to get the Jet Hero and Johnny Dotson on together. See if we can't make them hug it out, man. Right here live on Buster Unmasked, man. Who knows?
Sorry, man. I'm sorry about that.
No, you all right, dude. I know how it is, man.
But yeah, that picture. Man, I had blonde hair too. I did. Jimmy Tidwell took me to get a suit. Um, to get this suit that I remember, I'll never forget. I was going to go. I need a suit for this show, and like Stan, I won like several awards. Of course, they probably thought because we were booking it, but yeah, it was. I remember that. Yeah, very fondly. This Dustin doesn't like these pictures because he wasn't all jacked then, but he was a big kid then. I like it.
Hey man, he's one dude. I understand why he don't work now on his own shows, but man, I'll be honest with you. I ain't seen him with the suit off in a long time, but man, Dustin had man, he's probably one of the most in shape guys even on his own roster.
Right, and he he lived. Once you get into that mode of working out, all that kind of stuff, he's stuck with it. He's definitely into that fitness, I'm sure. But yeah, he's the smartest guy we have on the show because he don't take bumps. I'm sure Simon think the other way because he don't take bumps either. So there you go.
Well, look, Derrick, there was a comment way earlier that said you didn't take bumps, man. So
That is true. That is true. The Stacy says the best blonde hair was the best hair. That was a good hair. I missed the blonde. Maybe one more time.
Well, look, man, I had Dorian Vane on a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and he said that he heard it from the horse's mouth, Shelton Benjamin, that he got the blonde hair from you, dude.
This is very true. Sheldon, our friends, and obviously working OVW, but they needed him to have a look, and that's what he went with blonde hair, which was great. I'm glad he did because it did help me out too, and because Lawler actually suggested me being his brother. When they had Sheldon's mom on the show,
right?
They had her on there, so Thea was her name at the time. She's an actress, but anyway, they wanted me to do it was trying to be pitched to me being his brother on the show and then go from there. But it was we were working towards that. But yeah, Sheldon's one of the most talented, gifted guys in the business that can eat whatever he wants to and never gain a pound. It just looks phenomenal.
And at the end of the day, he's legit badass too.
That is, yes, he can.
I mean, he is. Look, Dylan says, "How about the night you bladed and squirted blood across the ring in Ripley, Derrick?
Well,
this is when blood everywhere."
This is when blonde hair meant something because I would just get color, probably a liter of vodkas in my system, but because at the time, sympathy or empathy for Derrick King was one of those kind of things that we try to have. And bleeding was a big deal back then. Now it's not so much blood. I think I talked to Simon about bleeding. He was like, man, so, I think WWE thinks that way too. Blood's not as big as it used to be. But there's a time you kind of had to have it to, draw some kind of heat and
right,
keep it going.
And that blonde hair makes it show up.
Oh yeah, when you get good... especially when I get it, like if I just got it done, it was like or you wear some light color clothes and all that kind of just to get the whole effect about it. So yeah, I used to didn't mind bleeding like that. It's just that every night was a different story. But I'd end up scars, and my mom was mad when I first bled. She's like, "What are you doing to your head?" Blah blah. So it's kind of one of those kind of things that you want to do and make it. But I will say this: we drew money every time in Ripley when it came down to it, so that was good.
Right, and you'll end up, if you do it too much, you'll end up with one of them damn spots on your head like Dog had that damn mound that was indented, man. It had a trench.
I got to touch it. I asked him, so I did ask him to touch it.
Hey, Dog, you mind if I touch this, man?
I just want to see what it felt like, but it's just a scar tissue is a great, crazy thing because you keep cutting the same place. And I remember him not being able to get color out of it. Like having to go somewhere else and like, okay, right. Like, man, that is some thick ass skin right there. But yeah, bleeding those days were fun. It kind of gets you into the mood. You love it a little bit more. But like when I went to Puerto Rico, they bled all the time. I was like, okay, we're not bleeding at all. These motherfuckers are bleeding every week.
Right. And I'll be honest with you. AEW bleeds pretty much. Somebody bleeds every fucking week on it. John Moxley damn near bleeds every show.
I think
every
he bleeds
match.
coming to the ring. I think he just bleeds coming to the ring. I don't watch it. I really don't watch it. And people go, Derrick, no, I really don't watch it. But I do get to see what they said about the show stuff. But I understand he bleeds a lot.
He does. Look, before we go on, look, Bluff City's back, which is Johnny. Says Leon with those little dentures in his mouth needs to shut his mouth and put some fertilizer on those little teeth. Derrick, here's the thing. I'm feeling like me and you need to get together and go and do an intervention with these two guys. Make them hug it out, dude.
I just want to tell them both this. It ain't worth it. End of the day, it ain't worth it. We're getting to enjoy in the wrestling business. Why are we cussing about some stuff that don't matter? If this was real life, I'm sure you walk away. I'm sure you walk away. But this is entertainment. And remember that it's entertainment. You go to work every day. You can do all the stuff you do every day. You come home and cuss the people at work. They don't care. They're getting paid.
Right.
You're getting to be somebody else in a world that nobody else cares about. You realize that when these people go home, Derrick King's not on their mind. You know? And it's not. You know, when people take, I heard your song today, I go, good. But they got real lives too. So I just think it's a waste of time. We can bitch and moan about a lot of stuff. How about world peace? How about cheap gas? How about the stuff that matters to what we're trying to do?
Right,
and I don't want to get into politics, but I'm just saying, think about what your kid got to live in and not just what you roll around with other dudes doing. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Look, I don't know about world peace. That's kind of like peace in the wrestling business. I don't think it'll ever be. But I am up for the cheap gas, Derrick. I'll be honest with you.
I did go to get gas the other day. I was like, wait a minute now, hold on. Now 2 weeks ago, I don't know what the hell happened.
Man, you ain't lying. Look, we're gonna pull up another picture, man.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry for going so long. I apologize.
No, dude, this has been a blast, man. And like I said, the show's turned out way better than what I had planned for it, man.
Look at this.
Talk to you, Derrick. Tell me what's going on here.
This is Stan Lee. I don't know where we're at this moment, but this is obviously a probably more recent picture, but obviously he's gassed up to the gills. I don't know. One of my favorite people in the world. I love him. He's my brother. I don't know how else to put it. I went to his wedding. I missed Brian Christopher's funeral to go to his wedding. That was the best man at his wedding, and I just I have nothing but respect and love for him. He's a good kid, and I've watched him since he was young. He was young, but he was phenomenal to work with. And
y'all went to Puerto Rico together, right?
Yeah, we were in Puerto Rico together. We were in Puerto Rico. We won the championships down there, which was fun. But we were ready to come home for sure. But he's I can't even. He's the godfather of my son. And
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the godfather of my son. So there's a lot of history there. So he is definitely we still talk to this day. And I'm gonna go. I'm going to see him soon. We're trying to work that out logistically and work-wise to get there. But he's not the talker. I'm the talker. When we came hot topic, you're the hot one. I'll be the topic of every subject. And you just keep going. But he was easy to work with. Simon's known him forever. I was lucky to get to meet him later on, so it was good. Wow, DKE.
All right, Derrick. Tell me about Derrick King Enterprises, man.
Derrick King
Enterprises. I missed this somehow, so talk to me about it.
So this is in Nashville with I can't think of Paul Adams booked it. He's no longer with us, and Reno Riggins was there, and they ran this show SAW Saul, and we just had a good day. He goes, Derrick, I want to make you have a faction. And Drew Haskins is the white kid with the other belt on. And he was just fun. They were all fun to work with. We just got to have the best time ever. We really did just have the best time ever. It was when I say this because we just had fun,
Right.
and Olivia was great, and I can't think of the kid's name. Johnny. What do we call him? Johnny. It's Johnny something. Damn, too many shots. But also
Shots to
cool.
the heads or shots of the liquor, man? Which one is it?
Probably both, but they were so cool to work with because we worked in you're right about that. We worked in a lot of bar shows, and Chase Stevens was running around there somewhere, and we got to work PG-13 together. It was it's just Drew Haskins. There's a special place for Drew Haskins because me and him just he got married, had a kid, just had a lot of real life conversations, and it's so. I can't. I'm trying to remember that kid's name. Johnny Bandana, because he always wore bandanas. Yeah,
Right.
and
He's actually still working. TriStar Wrestling is running shows up in Hole in the
really,
Wall, and he's a tag. Him and some guy named Ryder. I can't think of his name. His first name right off. Maybe Mitch Ryder or
Mitch
something
Ryder.
like
Mitch
that.
Ryder, no, because Mitch is a good friend of Jamie Dundee's. I know. Yeah, I know Mitch, blonde hair.
I don't think that's right though, Derek, because this is a younger dude. Mitch Ryder's an older guy now.
Yeah,
but,
it was. So okay, I got you.
But he's still out there doing it, man. He's in working for TriStar. I'm not so sure he don't work for SWF
Man,
on up here in Tennessee.
It's so crazy because these shows we went to, it was almost like I don't know. We felt like stars. When I say that, like you everybody dressed up, everybody came in looking like it was going to be a big deal. It was fun times. Fun. I can't express how fun they were. They were very fun, and everybody went out afterwards. We kind of hung out and done all that kind of stuff, and everybody had a good. Let's have a good match. Let's get this show together. And it wasn't like it was a long drawn out thing. It was just like, here we are. You guys, boom, 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 boom. Paul Adams, great friend. I've known Paul Adams, knew Paul Adams forever. And he's just one of those kind of guys that how crazy how life could take somebody away from you. But he was just one of those guys that knew how to right the ship. And he was very good to everybody. And so man, I haven't seen that picture in a long time because that's good times. That's good times. Man, that's crazy.
We'll pull this one down and pull up another one, Derek, and then I got a ton of them, man. We might not even make it through all of them, dude.
I'm with you. You just tell me when. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Let me see what's next, man. All right, let's pull up this one here.
Look at Alan Steele's hair.
Man, that's a bunch of young-looking cats right there, dude. So talk to me about these cats at that time, man.
This is an LAW production, I'm sure. There's Tony Gunn there. Derrick King needs to dye job for sure because the hair is getting long.
It's getting salt and pepper there, Derek.
It's salt and pepper there. I'll get to Dustin Starr. He had salt and pepper himself. Alan Steele had a perm. Well, actually, Alan Steele's hair is always curly already. It's already curly. But he had highlights then. John Michael, which is the outcast most of the times on these pictures and stuff because he's just having fun. Man, this is good times. We were all young and just having. Obviously, me and Alan were the older two people there, but we were young and didn't care. They're all coming into their own. Tony Gunn was just not coming to his own. Dustin was just not coming to his own. John Michael was just not coming to his own. And we booked it accordingly that way. Man, that's crazy. I remember this. That's it's definitely an LAW show. And we were just having a good time. That is wild. That is so wild. That's so because Dustin was a lifeguard at this time, so he was doing TV too.
Right. Well, let me ask you something, Derek. Was this before or after the cup of piss?
This is probably during.
Hey, John Michaels has never been allowed in another picture with me anywhere, man. After that, dude, hey, his ass would still be handcuffed somewhere right now.
Yeah. Man, it's a quick John Michael story. Me and John Michael met each other at a show in Dyersburg. and we hung out day one. We've been friends since then. And the day he goes, yeah, man, all right. We went to eat and then we just hung out forever. We've never, even though we don't see each other all the time, we we still have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we never dropped the ball. I love John Michael. John Michael's a good guy. He's the most depressing guy I've ever been around. Sometimes I go, dude, life is not coming to an end tomorrow. He's a good kid. I don't know. That's wild, man. They were just kids.
All of y'all, man. Y'all were all young as hell, man.
Oh, this is when Derrick King wore earrings too. This is definitely young because man, I ain't wore earrings in a long time.
Look at the smile, Derrick. Me and Ricky Kennedy were just talking about that, and Ricky Kennedy was talking about you, and I said, look, when Derrick first broke in, he came to Osceola, dog. He said, stay on his ass because Derrick would smile no matter what. He could be down getting his ass kicked, and if you look at him, he's smiling, man. So talk to me about that. Did you ever break the smile, Derrick?
I don't know if I was smiling. I just think I was just naturally enjoying everything.
Right.
I didn't know that I was smiling all the time. I didn't know that. Somebody said this to me the other day. Goes, "You still smiling?" I go, "I can't. I don't. It." Simon, get off of here right now.
All right. With that laugh, there's got to be a story behind that. So spit it out, Derrick. While I'm loading up this next picture, spit it out.
We've all lost our sweet tooth. We've all lost a sweet tooth. And he's like, he lost his, and he goes, "You still got that sweet tooth?" No, I don't. Oh my God, that's great. Oh, that's pretty fucking funny. Simon, I hate him right now. I love him to death, though. It's great. Wow.
Yeah, man, that's some young guys there too, man. Talk to me about this. Were they too cool too by this time?
Or was not this before yet. That? This is before that. But this was the clique. We were inseparable. Inseparable. Of course, they never wore real shirts because they had muscles. We were at one time in Dyersburg. We were the shit. There was no Molly. Now I see that. And there was no. I'm sorry. I'll tell you about that later. You couldn't tell us nothing. We were the shit. We were the. I mean, I couldn't go wrong with these two good-looking guys with me and big. I was like, what the fuck? But right. It was we were a real true friendship and a real true clique. That's the truth. That is what we did. Tim and Flex. I used to tell Flex, I go, "You just look good. I'll do the wrestling." And Tim became the wrestler at the end of the day. Flex's charisma and babyface, you can't buy that. Tim is a heel. When I say this, he's a natural heel, but he's such a babyface too. Best times I just see Tim has a fanny pack on too there, which is even worse about wrestling cliches.
And hey, these guys, man, I see they're back on Memphis wrestling, man. Back together doing their thing, dude.
Right. And and we've all gotten older, and I will just for shits and giggles, Flex is the oldest of all of us, but even as him as his age, he still looks the same. He looks good. He's a good kid.
Yeah, man. They both of these guys turned out to be really good talents, man, in the ring. I remember when they first started, and then when they started evolving, and especially when they started working together, because the first one I seen was Flex. I seen him first, and then when Tim came out, and then when they kind of started working together, man, that's when it really seemed to start clicking for both of them, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you something, Derrick, while I'm switching pictures. Let me get this out the way. This is Bluff City. It's Johnny. He said, yes, he lost his smile when he worked with the Ohio Valley Wrestling Southern Tag Team Champions, and they were mad because we were the Southern Champions in Memphis. Derrick wasn't smiling that night at the Delta Fair. So come on, tell us what it's about, Derrick.
This is probably one of Johnny Dawson's favorite stories. These guys didn't want to put us over, really. So everybody thinks of Derrick King's no fighter, first of all. But but I'm no pushover in the ring either. So I kind of think I can control what's going on. If you don't want to do what I'm doing, then we're not doing anything.
Right.
Uh, and not to be cocky about it, but it's just like I should know better, and I feel like I do know better. So those guys wanted to kind of push their weight around, and well, not long, So you kind of have to fight back too. I know everybody thinks that Derrick King doesn't punch or kick, like punch for real or whatever, but yeah, those guys are not going to have their time. They're just not going to come in there and beat us up, and then think they're going to beat us and then leave. So
Right.
Johnny was like, "You mad for real?" I was like, "Well, we're not just here to, this is our town." At that time, we were champions. We were tag team champions. It don't matter. So those guys, they learned, and I think they understood that we're not just going to be here just to be, pansy asses for them. And I think a lot of people don't understand that when they're wrestling me, I'm doing a lot of cussing in that damn ring. And now outside you want to try to fight me, I'm not going to fight you because it don't matter then. But we're trying to perform from the people, and I'm the one who knows better than anybody. So get on board or don't at all. That sounds cocky, but damn it, I'm
Well,
Derrick King.
well, here's the thing, man. It boils down to this: in the ring, once we're in there, you got to work together, or everybody's more than likely going to look like shit by the time it's over.
Thank you very
man.
much. Thank you very much. And it's not even about, and you're exactly right about the working together. And that's all I want to do. I'm not trying to show you, look, because we're not really fighting. We're wrestling. There's already a finish.
Right.
There's already this. So calm down. If you think this is going to, then you're never going to make it anywhere else. Wow.
All right, Danny. Now you mentioned both these guys earlier. That's David Milliken and Danny B. And man, look, Danny B. We first bought a ring when we first got in the business because we figured if we could rent the ring out, it'd probably get us bookings. So we'd set it up in the back of Sam. Had a fenced-in backyard, and we'd set it up in the backyard. And Danny was spending a lot of time in West Helena then. He'd come over and hell, we trained, man. Look, everybody in the neighborhood, they knew when we was training, man, because you could hear that ring all the way through the neighborhood every time somebody took a bump, dude. But man, Danny B and David, talk to me about these guys, man.
Danny B has the most than anybody in the business I've ever met in my entire life.
The most what?
Charisma. He is charisma personified. He is what you want your baby face to be. He is what it is to be a star, really. First person I ever met that taught me that. He's taught me that. Danny B and he took me under his wing like it was like I was his kid or like his brother. I can never knock that. He made sure that I was taken care of from day one. David Milliken, like a dad at times. His wife used to pick me up in Memphis, drive me to them. I'll be Friday night to Sunday on the weekends of the shows, and they drive me back to my mom's house. David Milliken, I just talked to him a couple days ago. It's so weird. We just laugh and we sing one of our favorite songs is Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sometimes I feel like I don't. I'm sorry, I just have to get that. Yeah.
Don't get me started. We'll lose all the fucking viewers, dude. I promise you.
So we got into that, and it's just like I wouldn't be Derrick King to a certain point without David Milliken. That's who gave me my first push. That's who made me understand when and what I could say and not do nothing and sit the fuck down. And he taught me. And he also introduced me to like WWE World or WWF at the time. And then he had every belt there was. And I thought to myself, this is a guy that talks to Jerry Law all the time. And so, of course, I was enamored with that. But David Milliken, Danny B, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be wrestling. This is no lie. I would not be wrestling today if it wasn't for those two guys. And David was very good about putting me with Danny B. And then when I turned on Danny B at one time, his wife was mad. His dad was mad. I was the only bad guy that can go to their house because they believed it. It was insane, bro. his dad wanted to cut me. It was insane. And I'd never seen the baby face. Not to mention, Danny B's a very well blessed dude, by the way. Just to let you guys know that. Anyway, I don't know how that happens, but he
That's
he
why he's
didn't
got all that fucking charisma, man. What are
right.
you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's what. No wonder my Christmas sucks. Anyway, but he took 320 people and had them by the hand. You know, they were in the palm of his hand every 2 weeks in Brighton. They believed every Simon needs to stop talking. Everything that he did, and I remember he had braids one time and they cut his hair. The people were picking up his braids and trying to save him. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Are we at this point where we were doing it?" But talk about an over baby face. There you go. And
Yeah, man.
David Milliken was the guy behind him making that happen.
I'm with you. Danny B is one of the most charismatic guys. Look, I've seen a lot of guys dance out the dressing room, dance around the ring. I ain't never seen nobody could dance up the steps and through the ropes and never miss a fucking beat the whole time.
And
dude.
never touch the ropes as he gets in. And I go, well, shit. And so I do remember, by the way, trying this, and I like up, trip, blah, 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 get in, just do something different. Yes, crazy.
Yeah, man. And David, man, he makes some of the best belts that I can't afford.
Right. Well, he was a belt mark since day one. I was, thank God for being his like child over here, because I did get a little discount. But I would tell you, he worked hard on belts when we were at this house, I hear him in there knocking on, like doing the pattern all the way around the little shit. And I go, right. Well, damn, that matters. Like, but you know, WWE paid him a lot of money.
Well, hey, that's the thing about wrestling. People, I don't think a lot of people realize it now. Like, these guys go out there and they build their whole match from spots instead of psychology of what are we trying to tell these people tonight, you know? And it's just, to me, it's wrong. I'll just be honest with you, because they go out there, they do every fucking thing they can do in every match. So there's never nothing to show the fans down the line to say, hey, here's something new. It could be just if you don't never throw drop kicks and you finally throw a drop kick and it's pretty and it works, that's something new to the fans.
It's never nothing spontaneous. It's always by a book or by what's happening next. This is next. It has to look like it's not next. Oh, God dang. Hollywood.
That's my dude, man. I got him coming on Thursday night, man. He's got a big debut match with Ricky Kennedy.
He gets so mad at it. You some bitch, Derrick. He cusses me more than anybody I know. Only reason why he cusses me because he gets more drunk than I do. So that is bad. But he at one time, by the way, he was my midget at one. Quick story. I know I'm going way over, but anyway, quick story.
Oh, you good, dude?
We got all screwed up before the match. Imagine this. And he had a spot where they were going to throw him out to me, and I just dropped him. I just dropped him, and he hits his head on the concrete. And it's still a little midget, is what I said at the time. Get up and grab his head. And he was like, King. I go, just come on. And hugged him. And I was like, man, I'm fucked up too. I don't know. Just come on. But he's giving me a lot of grief, but he's also giving me a lot of fun times. When I'm getting driven home from a club, passed out on the side of the road, passed out in the car, and a midget sitting in the chair with two boxes, like pushing the accelerator, I'm going, couldn't be anything better. Couldn't be anything but he really means well. There's times I have to tell him to slow down a little bit, but I had a lot of fun with him. We had a lot of fun. We got to do it. I remember one day we were staying at the Meadow, and for the people who know what the Meadow is, they know what it is. And I come and I go, my midget, and he's underneath the table sleeping. We couldn't find him because he's under the table. But he's a good friend, and yeah, that's crazy. I feel like this is your life, Derrick King, but that's great.
Well, that's kind of the idea I had, dude, man. That's kind of like I said.
I love it.
You've had a hell of a career, dude. And look, here's the thing. a lot of guys from around here has had some big matches, worked at some big places, but I feel like you're the only guy that 100% carved out you a space in the pro wrestling business in the Memphis Mid-South area, dude. Johnny's had big matches. He had his WCW contract, but for 30 years straight, you have been the guy who is, I mean, you worked at every company from the biggest to the smallest around here. I had thought about trying to come up with all the companies you worked in. Hell, a lot of them don't even exist no more.
Yeah, a lot of them are out of business for sure.
I mean, but really, dude, you carved out a niche for yourself that none of the rest of us was able to do, and that's just as simple as that, dude. I mean, you deserve a lot of respect for that. This is a hard business to make it in. No matter how good you are in the ring, it's a hard business to make it in socially. You have to be accepted into that club, and you're really one of the only guys that was 100% fully ever accepted. And I mean, you made a career out of it around here. You worked damn near every TV company from the USWA, because I remember at the USWA the first day you and Blade come and they had y'all put the bags on your head and sit out in the crowd as Lawler fans, dude.
Dude, you do what you have to do. I look, by the way, I appreciate everything that you just said. I just love it. And it's not even trying to be cliches about being bullshit about anything, because trust me, there's days it's not great for me. I love wrestling. I love it. I love it. I love it.
You done flipped on us, Derrick.
Huh? I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Your picture's just done flipped on us again.
How did this happen?
That's that damn Simon. He keeps chiming in, fucking it up, man. Can you hear me?
Stop chiming in there. I can hear you. There we go.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something about Hollywood too, Derrick. You know, all the rest of us kind of had some training and stuff. Hollywood was really just thrown in the fire, man. At KAW, he never had much training. He definitely didn't go through a whole school or nothing. They kind of put him in there with us and just throwed him right in there. And he had to learn everything on the fly pretty much.
Well, let me tell you, he knows what he knows what a midget does. I'm sorry, because let me just clarify this. I say midget. I don't want to say little people. I get it. If I was talking to Hollywood, we both say midget. So right. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to offend anybody on any of this. I just know that how he is. He wanted to be good at it, and because he was in it. He liked it a lot. But you know, I will tell you this, and this is on both of our parts. Partying is not what everybody should be doing all the time.
Right.
And sometimes that drives you down a different road. I think that Hollywood could have made a lot of money, because we don't have a lot of little people doing this. But yet, I think he's also having, you know, his cake and eating it too. But then sometimes you get into the morning, like, I don't feel like doing none of this. And there you go. You just don't. So I get it. I totally get it. I just, he's a gimmick, and I think that he did his gimmick well. I think that sometimes things run his course. He could get booked today. And I don't think I don't think he likes that pressure sometimes too. I think sometimes he thinks it's too much. But he was always good for us. We did it. We had a lot of fun with him. We had a lot of fun.
Well, you know, his body's giving out on him now, man. Me and Hollywood talk on a regular basis, and he's, you know, Hollywood took a lot of abuse, man. Like I said, he was thrown right in the fire at KAW. Oh, yeah. He didn't have time to really learn all this shit. He had to learn it by getting slammed around and stuff, man. And
from a lot of guys who were just slamming him around.
Right. I used to pick him up, like if the littles would throw him out, I'd get out on the mat, out on the floor, and I just grab him by his belt loop and lift him up and chug him back in the ring.
When I tell you that when he took that bump on the floor, I didn't even think about it. I was like, get up. You know, it's like, because you're thinking he's, you know, but I'm sure on his body, it's a little different from what it is on me and your body.
Right. All right, Derrick, here's the picture, man. This is the one, dude. I'm sure you know he's watching. You know he's chiming in. Him and Leon still fighting. So Johnny Dotson, Derrick King, man, talk to me about this picture, man. If I'm thinking right, this looks like right before Johnny went to WCW, maybe. Or is this?
I don't know when this really was because here I am with short blonde hair, kind of with blonde hair in my head. I don't know. I think that here it is, and let me just get this in a nutshell here. Johnny Dawson, since he's been in wrestling, we were friends from day one. Um, I don't think that we get along. Johnny was a party when we first started all this. Of course, I became the party afterwards. I think there was almost a part of us that lived two different wrestling lives. That's the truth.
Right.
Uh, I'm a more I'm not a politician, but I'm more of a I can hear more than one side of a story. My agenda don't really matter at the end of the day because I don't run it. Uh, I think that later on in our careers, we both got to wrestle and do other things. Two different paths. I'm a WWE guy. He was a WCW guy. I
Right.
also like to joke. I like to joke with him that we won the battle. We bought your company. No, but just kidding. Just kidding. Um, but I just think that obviously everybody wants to fast forward today. We had a good run. We had a very good run. We got to be tag team partners. We got to be, we got to wrestle against each other. There's sometimes no better puncher in the business than him. I've taken all of them.
Right.
But I think that politics and personal BS is what ruins everything. And I just don't want to weigh. It don't matter to me. I try to be on both sides of every situation. I tried to make sure everything was right on everybody's situation. I got heat. I say heat. I got not berate. I just got why on both sides of this. So to me,
That's the business though, man. It divides. It
yeah.
divides us.
And for a guy like me, it don't ever matter. It don't ever matter. I just think sometimes you can't get mad for me because where I go work and I can't get mad for what the fuck you do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's tomorrow. Like, well, why don't you work at FedEx? Well, because I work at DHL. I can't get mad because you're not working there. I don't really have the time, strength, or care to be bitching about fake ass wrestling. And when I say fake ass wrestling, I mean personalities being fake.
Right.
Or this not being what we thought it was gonna be. It's a waste of time. So I have a lot of friends in this business, but like I told Johnny Dawson the other day, don't ruin your friendship over something that don't have nothing to do with nobody else. Everything ain't cut and dry. Everything, I will dare say this, everything ain't black and white.
Right.
Everything is just how we take it. Get over it. And I've had the discussion with several other people about all of this. We had a good time, and I like to think that we'll still have a good time. But I do know that these are some fun times. I do know that life has changed, and we'll have to be adults about it one day. Um, Sometimes I'm sick of being the only adult to send in the room, and and Alan still, I don't like to invoke him in it, but he's the conscience of a lot of things because he just listens. But you can't, we're wasting our time.
Right. And
But
everybody's got their own path in life and in the wrestling business. Everybody can't walk the same steps in this business. Everybody's got to kind of walk their own path.
I've been lucky to do what I've gotten to do in the wrestling business, and I've never not thanked anybody for it. I've never said, "Well, such and such." Look, I know that everybody knows about the Jerry Lawler situation where I didn't get a job or whatever. I'm still a Jerry Lawler fan. That's why I wrestle. I don't hold grudges because I don't have time to hold a grudge. If we all died tomorrow, what was the grudge about?
And would wrestling matter? No, it wouldn't matter
No.
one fucking bit, dude. It's look. I wish I would have been more of a politician when I was younger, but I was green and it wasn't what I was about. I always thought that talent and heart and determination would get you through, but this is a different kind of business. A lot of times you got to go out and push and ask for what you want or demand what you really want, because there's another guy over here behind closed doors doing the exact same thing. And a lot of times the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
And let me just say something. I was good enough, I was smart enough to read the room. I didn't, I'm by nature, I'm a naturally nice guy. I just want to have fun with people. But I also know that some people don't give a fuck about me. And I know people who don't like me. I can't have time to think about why they don't like me, because I tried to figure that out a long time ago. And it never changes. You just don't like me. Okay, moving on. I gotta move on. I can't you're missing out because I think I'm pretty fun to hang out with. But then again, if that ain't, I'm not your cup of tea, I just don't, I just think that we're wasting, I just think it's just a waste of time about some, I wish sometimes Facebook was even existed at this moment.
I'm with you on that, dude.
I used to just, hell, having the top 10 friends on MySpace was enough. Now we gotta, have who's going live? Why are we going live? Like, who gives a shit? And who cares? If nobody watches it, you're talking to yourself. And then,
I feel the same way. If you ain't got something important to say, I don't give a shit about what you had for dinner. I'll be honest with you, man.
You know what's funny? You said this earlier. 600 some odd people trying to see what I was going to say, and I had nothing to say.
Exactly, but they all tuned in, and I was one of them, dude. I was right there. In my head, I was thinking, "Don't say shit, Derrick. Save it tomorrow night for the podcast."
Right. Well, and not to mention, I knew I was coming on the podcast. So the idea is, does everybody want to be entertained for a second, or do they think they already know? So you all want some gossip and some kind of BS. Like I told you, this is not about gossip. This is about, you want to talk about stuff I've been through. I don't care about, some of the stuff that social media wants to push, because it ain't worth it to me. Anyway, look, end of the day, Johnny and I will probably bury the hatchet, I'm sure. He's probably not going to bury the hatchet with a lot of other people. That's fine. But he's going to have to understand that, there's going to be some, him giving in to himself too, to make this work. Him and Leo are arguing over what?
Dude.
Nobody even knows or care. Book a show. Have a good show. Move on. Life is too short. I don't want to spend time saying that, but I'm just being honest with you. Life is, I just want to we've had a good time. I don't care about any of it because it don't matter to me.
Right.
It's never gonna matter to me.
All right, dude, we pulling up another picture, man, and this has got tattoo in it and too sexy Brian Christopher, man. Talk to us about this picture and these dudes, man.
This is when Tattoo was my favorite cruiserweight of all time. And Brian Christopher and I were like closer than close. We were together all the time. Brian and I were together and Tattoo and I were together in several, for real. But we were booked on every show. Brian was booked on all our shows, like when we were doing this. I don't care what anybody says about Brian Christopher. I don't care what, the negative stuff that people say about him. When he came to a show, he was there to entertain. And he had a good time. That's where he felt like home, to me. And like we leave and he was like, yeah, he's gonna always bust somebody's balls or whatever. But he's a product of the wrestling business. Tattoo this moment right here was the best shape he's been in right there. Look at him. Look, he had hair then too. Put that on there. Make sure you put that on. But he was he cared then. Now he wants to, this is what happens when you get seasoned. Now you have a voice. Sometimes not having a voice is the best thing ever.
Dude, you said a fucking mouthful right then, man. You honestly did. Anytime you got a voice in the wrestling business, whether you're speaking the truth or not, heat comes with it, dude.
Right.
You're gonna get heat.
Sometimes it's better not to say nothing. Because at the end of the day, you got to defend that and defend this and defend that and whatever. It's just, my God, it's exhausting. But yeah, Tattoo and Brian at the time where this was good times, man, because we were just having fun. Just having fun. My hair looked pretty good there too. Anyway, we just had fun. Tattoo was a kid having the
How old
time
is,
of his life.
how old do you think Tattoo is right there?
Oh God, 26, 25, maybe younger than that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. And he's a talented fucking guy
Man,
in the ring, man. He
I don't
really is,
even.
dude.
I don't. Dude, if I could do half the shit he used to do, I'm like, man. But like I said, sometimes Stan, my partner, he get mad because I go, he was my favorite cruiserweight. He goes, why do you like him so much? I go, look what he does. We can get sympathy on him. We can blah blah. He's like, but then here's where backstage talk is. Everybody's not political, and he always came look even like his tights and gear. He looks like looks like something. He
Right.
could do something with that. I just man, father time.
Well, look, Derek, speaking of looks like something, talk to me about how important it is for guys to have professional gear and look like something, man. You can't look like the dude sitting in the chair watching you that just paid a ticket for you. I'm not gonna pay to see that guy.
I say it all the time. Look like you fake it till you make it. Get you one good suit, one good pair of cool jeans, a cool shirt. Dustin started with the same outfit for a month, but you only saw him once. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He can go and get it done again because Chase Stevens does the exact same thing. He goes, I'm in a different town. They ain't seen this.
Right.
They ain't seen this outfit. We don't have that kind of money to buy the Rock's outfit every night. But once again, you want to see the Rock once a month or once a week. Once a week. Fake it till you make it. Now, I'm sure Simon's still on here. He's wearing flip flops and shorts. And even got to the point. Oh, Eric Hayes says I better mention him on here. Well, Eric.
Hey, we got a picture of Eric. I'm working my way to it. I wasn't gonna leave
down,
Eric out.
bro. Settle down, Eric.
I wasn't gonna leave him out, man. Not at all, dude.
Settle down, Eric. But like I remember when WWE went through this whole thing where they want everybody to dress up. But can you make the Undertaker dress up?
Right.
Can you make Jericho dress up? But yes, you can. There's a time. Everybody has a different deal. Jerry Lawler's never dressing up. And then when you see him in a suit, it's almost like, what the fuck's he wearing? you like, he doesn't wear a suit. But, I think every guy should look like a star, act like a star. If you, there's some kids in Osceola, they always want to run out during in the crowd, like during intermission or something like that. I said, we could just have you sit out there if that's the case.
Exactly.
You never saw Elvis Presley until it's time to see Elvis Presley. None of us really got to see Elvis Presley, but I'm saying, like, if you don't get to see Beyonce until she fucking walks out there to be seen. You can't. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Like you said, man, if you're out there, especially before your match or even after, first of all, back in the day, they didn't let you do that shit,
No.
Even as a babyface, you only went out when, like if you were going to try to sell some gimmicks during intermission or whatever, or before the show. Heels definitely didn't go out and mingle with no fucking body, or you get your ass fired right off the bat,
Yeah. See, everybody wants to be over. Everybody can't wait to have somebody talk about them or cheer for them. It's almost like it's a self-esteem thing. Well, you're part of a play, folks. Your character don't come out until then. You just can't go out when you want to because the play doesn't call for that. If you never see any WWE guy just run out there. Oh, I need to be out here. No.
Right.
No. I was just in NXT, and it was 20 of us walking back and forth, and you should have seen the look at the guys Baron Corbin was signing autographs, and he just looked at us like, "Who the fuck are you guys?" Because to him, it's like a bunch of marks walking back there, which 90% is right. Walking back there, and why are they back here? Because that's your domain. You don't want fans walking back in your dressing room.
Now they'll let any fucking body in a dressing room.
Jesus
Pretty
Christ.
much every fucking wear, Derek.
Osceola knows I get mad about this. My ex-wife, even my kid didn't even come to the dressing room. It was like, stay out there. Unless I invited them back or brought them back to where I was at and not involved in everybody else's world. Because there's a part of that you want the mystique of being somebody.
Right.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what was happening here. Oh, I know exactly what was happening here.
Look, I can tell you this. I'm looking at your fucking face and eyes, and I'm thinking you had a good buzz. I'm thinking you was smoking that day, Derrick.
I'm thinking we were all a little bit high. By the way, let me
I
just
think
say
so
something about
too.
uh, V-Man Ace, and then the little kid, the white guy. I can't think of his name right now. Now he's gonna be mad if I forget his name on this thing. Anyways, it's Chris's cousin. I just hired him. Now I'm looking. Danny is his name. Anyway, he's the connoisseur of the marijuana. But we were at Chris Lex's house, maybe, or somebody's house like that, and probably having the time of our lives. V-Man was always fun to work with too, by the way. Always fun to work with. Ace could have been a star 5 years ago, and I'm gonna tell you the
Dude,
reason why.
go ahead,
Go
dude.
ahead. No, the reason
Well,
I'm
I was
saying
just
is
gonna say, I love that dude, man. I thought the same thing, man. Here's the thing I see with Ace. I don't think nobody's willing to just let him be who he is on camera.
I don't think I think real life is holding him back. I think that Ace is afraid of well, what me and him will say white America or being converted to you're being a gimmick now. You're on the show. You're a gimmick. You're doing what TV tells you to do.
Right.
And now you gotta live that way. You know, we're all rebels, but you also gotta realize you're on a show that you're this life, like these pictures right here, we couldn't show on TV. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We couldn't do that. So you gotta realize what life you want to live. You know, sometimes you gotta just fake it till you make it. Again, V Man, very straightforward to you, tell you what he don't want to do, tell you how he wants to do it, but also we're willing to work. He worked for me for a long time, and we had good times. We laughed. I can't. There's nothing I can say bad about me. You know that old Suge Knight wouldn't kill me about. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, your ass will be hanging over a balcony, man, giving
Yeah,
up the
like I'm
rights
just
to
like,
something, man.
what'd you say, Derrick King? What'd you say? No, but he's you know, for a big man, he did what he was supposed to do. You know, and but if he told him, I said, yo, I'm kick you in the face tonight, and that's where we're going. All right, man, whatever you need.
Right.
I never had a problem. Never had a problem with him. It's just amazing how talent is so in front of your face, but then you can lose it in an instant. Seriously, God, it's so crazy because that could have been something totally different today.
Right.
So different. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree with you both. It is wild. And Danny's just a kid that he's skinnier than I am. So but he's always a partier. when you need the party guy, he's always good party guy.
Well, look, Derrick, while I'm switching pictures, let me ask you this. Do
Mhm.
you think the wrestling business was a little bit of a bad influence on you?
Now people will say that, but I think that the wrestling business is probably my eye opener to the real world. I would just been a green dude in the world, don't know nothing.
Right.
I still don't know. I still don't know half the stuff. I just drink a lot. Drinking was the biggest deal. I never knew anything else about it. Anything. I mean, now everybody smokes weed. So you know,
Right.
now what's the deal? I just it was me growing up. I got to grow up in the business. I got to grow up doing what what I loved. And I think that most people don't. Most people grow up like that in real life. Like their home life is like that. My home life was never like that. You know, it's like I got to see this outside of the. I went to Catholic. You know, here I am, a private school kid. Don't
Right.
know shit from a hole in the wall, and loving wrestling. So I get what you're saying. I don't, but the bad influences what made me who I am today. But then again, I think I'm a good guy. My kid thinks I'm the best in the world. So there you go.
That's all that counts, dude.
That's
That right
all
there is the only barometer that matters anyway.
and
And like you said, you was kind of sheltered. Dude, from the time I was 13, I was out running the streets,
oh no.
doing whatever, dude. I've done everything short of heroin, and that's only because nobody ever showed up with it around me. You
Right.
know,
I never east side of that world until I wrestled, or like, wow, this is what happens. I remember seeing cocaine for the first time, thinking to myself, whoa, this is too much for Derrick King. This is too much. I might need to sit down. I might need to, I was like,
dude.
but I also realized that the times and everybody, like today, people hear me say that, but like, how dare you? Times are so different then. Now, now these kids are sucking on goddamn. Oh wow, I love Bill Dundee. I love him.
Man,
I don't want to see Bill Dundee get old.
Dude, one of the most. And here's the thing: I mean, you know, we growed up on Bill Dundee, just like Jerry Lawler.
Right.
But man, you don't know. Back at that time, there was no internet, there was no YouTube. You didn't get none of this real old footage of Bill Dundee. Man, Bill Dundee. Look, if there's anybody that deserves to be in any Hall of Fame in the wrestling business, I think Bill Dundee is it, man. He's a hell of a booker and one of the best fucking talents ever to step in a wrestling ring, man.
And Bill Watts should thank him every fucking day, because there would be no Mid-South without. He's already there. Sorry, Bill Dundee was the best booker for Bill Watts forever. I don't know. I live with Bill Dundee. I lived. Tell Ricky Hayes I love him too, by the way. I live with Bill Dundee. I live in his house. I don't know if I could. Man, it did. I told Dustin Sardis the other day. I said, man, it hurts me that and I think I told Alan this too. I'll never probably really get to have that conversation, like just talk to him, because it's just how different politics are right now. And but I love Bill Dundee. I got to do a lot of crazy and hang out shit with Bill Dundee. And
right.
Man, I want that picture. I love it. Man,
dude, I got all this from your Facebook, dude. All you got to do is scavenge, man.
Yeah, I'd never go on Facebook. Once again, never know. But Bill Dundee was back in his day was the cutest little guy on TV that he used to say. It just like man, it sucks. It sucks. Like I'm not trying to pause by dramatic pausing, but it hurts my feelings because this is where we're at. One day, these guys are not going to be doing this or like
right.
And that makes me a little uneasy about a lot of stuff, So I don't know. I love Bill Dundee. He's a good guy.
Man, God
damn it.
I got to work around him at Dogs. There for a couple of years, he was at Dogs with us for pretty much every weekend, running Friday and Saturday night, and then at KAW when he came in, man. And dude, man, you respect him then, and he was already a legend. But I wish now I could go back and have a conversation with Bill Dundee because, man, like I said, this dude is to me, he's one of the most important guys probably in the wrestling business as a whole.
Through all of the business, through the whole business.
Right.
The whole business. From Terry Taylor on down. Realize Bill Dundee beat the fuck out of me, and it was almost like it was a pleasure for a second, but it was scary at the same time.
Right. Addison, go ahead, Derrick. No, go ahead, Derrick.
No, I was gonna say we did a thing with Naughty by Nature. Rube was there, and Lance J was there. He's like, Alan Sid was there. He's like, I'm sure you gotta be vicious. And he beat the shit out of me, like stuck his finger in my eye and back out. And I thought to myself, this motherfucker fighting me. But I do utmost respect for one guy, and because he loves the business more than you think he loves it.
Right.
He's a mark for it, and it's scary to see that he's just an old guy now. And
Dude,
that's what I think that we kind of all see ourselves like I think that Alan and I never talked about this, but I think that's kind of where we're gonna be at, the grumpy old men, and we did say that's the grumpy old men and the deals, and Alan, so Simon said the same thing, but like just knocking like what the fuck we doing next. But I don't know, man. I'm a little it's weird. It's weird because it's just not what it was. You
well,
want them
it's
to be
weird.
your stars forever. I want to be young forever, and I want them to be the stars forever.
Right, dude. I was just finna say the same thing. It's weird when people you grow up your whole life watching these people every single week in, week out, and then they start getting older and aging out of the wrestling, and then they start dying. I mean, look at me, Derrick. I started this shit at 17. I'm 50 now.
Bro,
You know,
I'm not far from your age right now. And I don't even want to talk about my age right now because it almost scares me.
man, it's just
I never thought I'd say any of these words. You know what I'm saying?
right. I didn't either, dude. And Addison said, can we just wrestle the hell with the politics? Dude,
No.
the wrestling business is built on politics. That's
Well,
it's just the way it is.
well, I'm just going to answer this question. The reason why we can't because he plays the politics. That's why that doesn't happen.
I wish I'd have played politics. Look, here's the thing. I told a guy just recently, I said, man, I wish I was 20 years old right now. If I was 20 years old and know what I know now, I'd rule this fucking territory, Derrick.
Bro,
I believe that, man.
Look, even to the little bit that I have credit for whatever doing, if I played a little smarter, it's just been a little different. I promise you.
Right.
But you know,
Yeah.
that's all. So we're
But
living.
that's how you learn this business, man. You have to. I learned this business by making most of the mistakes, dude. And I'm not even going to bullshit about that.
Yeah, and I made a plenty of them. That's exactly. Eric
All right,
Hayes.
Eric.
Eric Hayes. I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be crazy because now here we go. Eric Hayes loves me like nobody else loves me. When I say this, Eric Hayes is at. I don't even know how to explain it. He is a Derrick King guy for real. As that shirt says, he is the number one Derrick King guy. He loves Derrick King. More importantly, he loves Derrick, but he loves Derrick Taylor too. I get it. I get the semantics of it. He, I've never seen a kid that just enamored with me like he is. That's what I'm saying. But he also was. I've seen him go through every trial and tribulations of how he thought life should be and how he went through life and how he defended me on some other crap that black and white again. And I don't know. And his family's always been super, 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 super cool to me. His dad is like another father figure to me. Ricky Hayes is one of those 80s wrestlers, 80s, early 90s wrestlers that made it happen for, you know, he did, you know, they wouldn't have they wouldn't have the enhancement guys. You know, but it's just the Eric Hayes has a special place. He knows it. He likes to be acknowledged. I get it. I definitely get that. But I have no bad words. Bobby Murray's cussing down there.
He said, "I used to love you, but I think you forgot who I am."
Let me just and look, and Eric, this is not taking away from what you and me in this picture, but I'm gonna say this: I have been lucky to meet a lot. I've got to love for real. That's the truth.
And that's hard in the wrestling business, man, because truthfully, most of it's a facade. When you meet people that you really become friends with and really become personal with, that's a big deal in the wrestling business.
When I tell you, when I say Simon, when I say even like when I say Alan Steele, because Alan Steele's like, hey, I ain't doing that gay shit. He'll definitely tell me that. He'll definitely say that in an RV. But Alan Steele's one of my closest friends. Dustin Starr, he knows this. And to a point, Johnny Dustin knows this too. But Tattoo knows this. Eric Hayes knows this. You know, these guys know that I genuinely love these fuckers. They've seen me through my worst and it's him in my best. And I got to work with him when I was in my best. So I don't it's crazy because I don't want to get emotional about any of this, but that's all I have. It's all I have.
Right. And I'm
I
gonna tell
don't
you something.
I don't know if I have anything else in life. Like my family's all gone. Literally, I have one cousin. I have three cousins really, but one cousin I talk to all the time. And I just it's just me
Right.
and my kid. So my friends are my everything. So when I have these moments about these guys, it's the truth. Tattoo, what can I not say about him? My God. Me and him have laughed so hard I could not laugh anymore. I go, done laughing. Flex and Tim, where I've fucking just lived, just it's crazy. Man, you guys got me emotional about some fucking fake ass wrestling. I don't know, but Buster, I'm never doing your show again. I'm never doing your show again. I'm never doing your
Dude,
show again.
here's the thing. I don't think look, I got a shitload more pictures, but we're finna have to start wrapping up. I got one more that's gonna be our last picture.
All right, I got you. And
Actually,
I'm
we're
sorry.
gonna
And once again,
no,
sorry.
we're gonna do two. We're gonna do two more pictures, I think. Let me look through here and see. Make sure. All right, yeah, we're gonna do two. Let's get this one done, and then I got one I'm saving for last. Dude, I've loved this show, man. This show's been a blast, man. Been a fucking blast, Derrick. I'm so glad we got to do this, man. All right, look, Derrick, before you even start talking, I think, well, God dog, hold on, Derrick. Let me load it back up. I'm steady screwing shit up. There we go. All right, man, look. I think all of us know this, and it's in your style, man. Man, you're a Jerry Lawler guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you make me cry on this show.
That's what I do here, man. We ain't just sizzle. We all about substance, Derrick.
Huh.
Talk to me about the King, because I'm going to be honest with you, Derrick. He's my favorite pro wrestler. Also, he's my favorite guy out of everybody, dude.
I wouldn't wrestle if it wasn't for Jerry Lawler. I would not. I don't even know why I'm doing this crap. Anyway, I would not be a wrestler at all. He's the king of wrestling. He's the king of Memphis.
Right.
He here's what I'm gonna say. This guy took 12,500 some odd fans in the palm of his hand every Monday night by dropping a strap and having good punches.
Right.
And he can sell. I don't know if I could ever. That's who I want to be.
Dude, I'm with you 100%. That's the guy who I ain't never thought about it in those terms, but now that you said it, I don't know that I'd be a wrestler if it wasn't for Jerry Lawler every Saturday morning, man.
I wouldn't do this. My promos, my stands, my punches for sure. My whole being is a little bit of him. Between three guys, him, Shawn Michaels, and Jeff Jarrett, I don't know if I could do it. And I see Bradley says Eddie Gilbert. I get it. Eddie Gilbert's great. He's not Jerry Lawler.
I love Eddie Gilbert too, but Eddie Gilbert was basically like you and me. He really, if you really get down to it, he wanted to be Jerry Lawler, or at least be just like Jerry Lawler.
From the boots, that there's no lace-up boots. There's no it's all seamless. Everything's seamless. Everything just looks like it just should just run up and down. From the punches like Superman to the punches like it's bigger than what it is. And
Right.
then there's a little bit of the showmanship of being a star. Being and even knowing the guy, knowing how he really thinks about some things. But just watching him work is I don't even know how you do it. It's
He's
like
a,
there's times in my matches I go, yeah, I gotta be like this, and I find myself doing stuff that he does, and I'm like, it's just him that can do it. Like if I could drop the strap today, would I not just drop it?
right. No, he's a master, dude. He's a master. He's a master of psychology. Of
That's the
what make
job. That is the job. Psychology, being a master. It makes me. I think that's why I drive on that more than anything about. Fuck the match. Let's get them
why
here.
why are we having this match? Where are we going with it? That's the thing. Pro wrestling's built on the psychology of what we're doing and why we're doing it.
I watched him. He wrestled Kid Wicket one night, or Tony Williams,
Right.
which is another underrated guy that I would love forever. He and I, he doesn't like to talk anyway. We have a long story anyway, but he's man, one of my favorite opponents for real. But Lawler took a lemon out of the crowd because somebody threw a cup in or whatever, and he was squeezing the lemon juice in Tony Williams' eyes. And I thought to myself, now why would you? But then again, who's had lemon juice in their eyes before?
Right.
Does that not burn?
Right.
It's relatable. It made sense for the story. And then he had him roll him up somewhere else. But you know what I'm saying? Like it was just, it made so much sense. I go, so simple, so simple. But we have this whole thing about we have to do so much extra shit to make it big when it's really just the simple stuff that matters. And Jerry Lawler would always be the guy. I have 2 crowns in the house now. I used to tell my dad when my dad would see me, I want Jerry Lawler to be my dad. I rented on my 13th birthday a crown just to hold in my hand. And my dad was pissed. But again, my mom knew I love Jerry Lawler. Can't knock
Right.
him. I can't get he's the biggest star now.
I feel the
Biggest
same
star
way,
now.
dude. I feel the exact same way, man. He's to me, look, there's a lot of guys out there more athletic than Lawler that do more athletic matches, but at the end of the day, for being a fucking pro wrestler that knew what to do to make people take notice, Jerry Lawler is truly the king.
I don't think anybody realized this. He's a mastermind of working. Like
Right.
just here's where I'll kick myself and love myself later on. How many people you say try to watch that live yesterday?
Over 600 the last I checked, dude.
The master of working.
There you go.
The king is look, I want to be Jerry Lawler.
I'm the same way, dude. Look, as a kid, man, I used to fantasize about wrestling Jerry Lawler in the main event at the Coliseum, dude. I mean, the people, everything, man. It was just like that. To me, that was the pinnacle of pro wrestling.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I hadn't told a lot of people this, and some people know this, but not a lot of people know this. And I bought this book, when it came out. I went to the Wolf Chase Mall to get it signed, and he wrote in the book, to the man who would be king.
That's cool.
I go, man, I don't even know how to take that in. I get where we are now. You know what where we're at now is because political, but I get where we're at. But man, it hurt me to see him at Raw. It hurt me to see him. Oh wow, I can't wait to talk about this. It hurt me to see him not being Jerry Lawler.
Me too, dude. Me too. When I seen him come out on Raw, man, I thought, man, it's when the king ain't the king, man. Shit's changed, dude.
Yeah. Exactly. It makes you wake up. So this
Look,
picture
dude,
here.
look, dude, we got about 5 minutes for this picture, man.
All right, well, I'm gonna give you three. I'm gonna give you three. So this
Okay.
picture means a lot to me, and I'm gonna tell you why it means a lot. Craig Stone's a real friend of mine, and for him to ask me to be in his wedding meant a lot, and it just how it was. Craig Stone's always been a class act to me. I can't knock. There's nothing you can say bad about him. Super cool guy, a guy that looks out for everybody.
Right.
And I can't knock it. I was happy to be in it, happy to be there for him, and he better not ever do it again. Just stay with where he's at. But we had a good bachelor party too. We got pretty fucked up, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, dude, I had him on the podcast probably 6 months ago. Really enjoyed talking with him about wrestling and stuff, man. Really cool dude, man.
Down to earth. I can't get no better. You don't get a real person like that all the time.
Right.
There you go.
Derrick King, man. This one here has been a marathon, dude, and I feel like honestly we could go 3 more fucking hours if we want to.
And I was gonna tell you, you asked me how long you need me to be. I didn't think 3 hours, but there we go.
Dude, I didn't either, but I mean when it's good, the time seems to fly right by, dude.
Man, I could talk to you forever. You brought up a lot of memories and good times.
Man, like I said, this has been like I wanted this one since I started doing this. But I'm a big proponent of timing's everything in the wrestling business.
You're exactly right.
And I think tonight was the perfect time for me. I think it was the perfect time for you to be on here, dude. I've really enjoyed this show. I say this a lot of times, and I'm always telling the truth, but this is absolutely maybe the very best show I've ever done and the most fun show I've ever been a part of.
Listen, I appreciate you letting me get on here and air some crazy shit. But I also appreciate the people who watch and got to say what they wanted to say, because sometimes that's okay.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for having me. Seriously, thank you. Whenever next time I'm sure you're gonna put me on time limit, but we'll maybe we can deep dive into something else. And it's funny you said something about a podcast. And I mentioned this to Dustin. Sorry, I know you got 5 minutes.
We've actually got 8 minutes. I mentioned you're good.
I mentioned Dustin. I said I should get the podcast. He goes, yeah, but I need a host. So maybe down the road we'll figure out something because maybe I can just come on. Not that people want to hear everything I have to say, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to hear me talk about that I got to work with or whatever, or backstage of how that worked and how that didn't come out. Yes, she's right. Stacey Adams, everybody does have a DK story. Everybody does have a DK story. She and I have a DK story. Don't talk about it right now. Anyway, we have a DK story. But I appreciate everything because I'm not big on a lot of podcasts and doing a lot of things, but you brought my emotions out. You brought I had a good time. And now I'm gonna reevaluate how I live about life again because it's so short. It really is so short. And
right.
But glad to be a part of it. I think that I've settled some things today, but I also think that it leaves room to talk about something else later.
I will definitely do it, dude. I'm up for it anytime you're ready, man. And Derrick, it's absolutely been my pleasure. And look, I appreciate you for coming on and being as open and as candid as you have, man. My show is kind of starting to take a turn, dude. For it's a work in progress, man. And
right.
The show I did with Dotson was one of them. I did one with Ray Ivy the other day that had a lot more than just wrestling going on. And this one here, dude, this one here is another turn, another evolution in the podcast, man. And I thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Giving me yourself, Derrick, dude. I appreciate it.
Well, you got it. Listen, I'd like to see you in OCO and maybe Memphis soon.
Dude, I'm going to have to start getting out and getting around, man. I might start going to some of these shows.
We'll have lunch or something like that, and of course, I'll bring this. But
There you go.
We'll
Hey,
have lunch or something.
I'll bring the bud, man. I'll bring
And there
the
you go.
bud.
And
Dude.
we'll definitely, and we'll go to the show after that.
That sounds good to me, dude. Derrick, thank you, and you have a great night, my friend.
All right, you too, bro. Thank you.
All right, guys, one of the best shows I've ever done. I really enjoyed this show. Man, like I said, I appreciate Derrick for coming on and being open and honest and candid like he has. Awesome show. Look, guys, Thursday night, I got Hollywood Little, 7 p.m. He's making his big debut at APW in Marianna, Arkansas. We're going to talk all about it. And Sunday night, 7 p.m., I'm back with Alan Steele. That should be another awesome show. You need to check it out, guys. I appreciate every single one of you that watched and everybody that interacted. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great night.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow